Here we go. We're live.
Hey everyone, we're gonna let everyone filter in real quick. Let us know in the live chat where you're watching from. The webinar is gonna start any minute now, but a lot of people are starting to get in this chat. The webinar is gonna start any minute now.
Sorry, give me 1 second, guys. I've got a couple of last-minute emails from people trying to access the event. For whatever reason. The email didn't fire for some people, but letting everyone join in. Like Ian said, if you guys actually go to the YouTube, if you click on the little YouTube link and you go into YouTube, you log in, you guys can interact with us throughout this live web event. You can ask us questions. Anna's going to be in there. She's going to be answering questions throughout Ian and I's training. But yeah, let us know where you guys are watching from. What time is it? Is anyone up at like 3 a.m. to watch us do our live web event? That would be pretty crazy.
This is super exciting. There's over 700 people. So we want to know where everyone's watching from. And also, are you excited to learn how to get bigger deals, better deals? And if you're confused on, if you're on StreamYard and you're confused on where to get to the YouTube link, you can go to the comment section on StreamYard top right. And then that way you can enter into YouTube. And that's where the live chat's going to be going. We're going to be answering questions. And then Anna's on there trying to answer questions along the way. So let's get in the live chat. Let us know where you're watching from. We're really excited to teach.
Woo! I'm so nervous, guys. You guys are going to be learning about brand negotiations today, but I'm learning about getting over my fear of public speaking. So
I think everyone gets a little nervous with public speaking. So
yeah, it's going to be crazy. So are you guys excited? I know Ian and I are super excited. We have been up all morning preparing for this, getting ready, going through our slides, practicing, messing up, hopefully fixing everything so that you guys get the best of us. And we're super stoked. I hope you guys are super stoked. And we're going to be starting here in a couple minutes. We're going to allow a few more people to hop on. I'm going to be checking my emails to make sure everyone's getting the link. But yeah.
Yeah. And maybe let us know either where you're from or what you're excited to learn today. We're going to have a Q&A at the end. Make sure to stick around. But Anna's in the chat right now getting ready to answer questions along the way. But make sure to answer those or ask those questions later on because we're going to be spending a lot of time with you guys with your burning questions because we really want to help. Where is everyone watching from? I see some Denmark, New York, Switzerland. We were just in Switzerland. Love your country, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
God, there's people from all over the world. Yeah. This is crazy.
Yeah, and if you guys are just joining us, we've been encouraging people to go onto YouTube. You can click the little YouTube icon if you're watching from my webpage, my website. Click on YouTube, log into your account, and you guys can interact with us throughout this live web event. You can leave questions in the comments, and Anna's going to be answering those throughout Ian and I's teaching. And then we'll get into this a little bit later, but we'll do a live Q&A at the end with Ian and I. But you log into your YouTube, start interacting with us. Let us know where you're watching from and what you guys are excited about learning today.
Yes. And I want to see some woot-woots in the chat or something exciting to get this group excited to go and learn for the next 2.5 hours. It's going to be a while with us, but we're going to have a lot of fun. This stuff is crazy what you're about to learn. So get ready, get a notebook out, get excited. This is what gets Chas and I going, teaching people, getting people bigger deals. So let's get everyone excited. I just love that everyone's all over the place right now, different time zones.
So crazy. So cool. And again, run through this real quick before we get started. If you guys are just joining us, go ahead and click on the little YouTube icon, log into your YouTube account. You guys can interact with us, leave comments. Right now, we are interested in seeing where everyone's watching from. What time is it where you're watching from? I want to know if there's anyone up at like 1 a.m., 3 a.m. here to watch us teach. But we are super stoked to get started. We'll get started here in a couple of minutes. We're just letting a few more people hop on real quick.
Gosh, the UK, we got Gainesville, Florida. Where are the kittens? All right, I got to show them.
The kittens.
Cats are 4 cats. We got 3 kittens. It's wild out here.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, they were sleeping, but here's our kittens. We have one more right below me. They're van kittens now, so we're teaching them. They were asleep. They're really mad at me. They're really mad. I got to put them down. Hey, you hear those meows? Hey, go back to sleep, guys. I blame you guys.
We're just going to show you all of our pets throughout this live web event. That's what you're actually here for.
I mean, that's the great content. Let's be honest here.
All right, Ian, are you ready to get started?
Yeah, let's get going. Anyone that comes in late, make sure to hop on YouTube, go in the live comment section in the top right of StreamYard, and you can log into your YouTube account. Anna's also in this chat, ready to answer some questions along the way. So let's get going, Chas.
Yeah, all right, awesome. So welcome to our live web event. This is super excited. Are you guys excited to get started? Today, we're going to be talking about the secret to $10,000 brand deals that has nothing to do with follower count and how to become an expert at negotiating. So how many of you guys would love to land a $10,000 brand deal? Wouldn't that be awesome? What would that mean for you if you could land a $10,000 brand deal? And I'm super excited to get started and to get into this today and show you guys our secrets. So like I said, Anna's going to be interacting with you guys throughout this event. If you want to leave questions in the comments, Anna's going to be answering those. But if you stay until the very end, we are going to be doing a live Q&A with Ian and I. If you have any specific questions about what we're teaching or anything related to what we're going through today, please feel free to stay until the end, and we'll be doing that live Q&A with you guys. So I'll go ahead and let Ian introduce himself and Anna.
Yeah, so we're Ian and Anna. We've been doing full-time content creation for 5 years now. And as you guys see, all those brands that we have worked with in the past, some long-term deals, some short-term, but there's some big names. And I bet a lot of you out there would like to work with some companies like this or companies of the same stature one day. Anna and I have been majority YouTubers. That's where we put all our time and effort into. Just so you know, we'll be talking a lot about YouTube throughout this. And we have around 700,000 followers across all three platforms, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Right now, we're living in our van in Europe full time for the next 2 years. We just shipped it over here from the US. So for those that don't know, we're right now in Croatia. That's why I'm in my front seat doing this webinar. It's crazy how technology has come this far and I'm able to do something like this on the road. But I'm really excited to get into this. Chas, you can take it from here.
Awesome. So as I'm sure many of you know, I'm Chas from Through the Lens and Through the Leaves. I've also been doing this coming on 5 years now, full time, which is insane to think that, you know, back little old me before 5 years, I never could have imagined what would be possible for us. And some exciting news to share with you guys that I haven't shared yet is Brad and I just put an offer that's been accepted on some land out here in Phoenix. We're going to build our house. We're going to build a retreat accommodation so that we can host more events like this. And just the fact that this is even possible from social media, from what I do on here, is just insane to me. It's so incredible. So a little bit more about me. Like I said, I've been doing this full time since 2019. It's been able to support both my husband and I from then. He currently is chasing his own dreams. He's joined the National Guard and going into the Green Berets. So he's not able to be here right now. But he usually is like the hype man, the behind the scenes man. Ian would tell you all about it. Ian and Brad have a little love romance.
He's the best. I miss him already. It's just insane that he's originally from Australia and now he's in the U.S. National Guard going after Green Beret. And he's a legend for that, protecting our country and stuff. So I miss Brad so much. I can't wait to see him again.
Yeah, super, super stoked to be able to mention him. So I started my travel page, I think in like 2017, I started taking it seriously, and it wasn't until 2019 that I took it full time. It's taken 7 years for me to get to where I am today and the stature that I am. But last year, I was able to start a new lifestyle page. Okay, so actually, let me back up. Brad and I traveled full time for 3 years from my travel page. And then last year, we moved into our first house together. I got a bunch of animals and I started my new pet page. And then within a year, I was able to grow 500,000 followers. So I think that's a really big testament to, the knowledge that I have, the information that I can share with you guys, because not only was I able to do it on my travel page, but I was able to do it on a totally unrelated page and build it up, which has been such an incredible journey. This year, the brand collaborations from that page has surpassed my coaching business. It's just been absolutely wild, and I'm so excited to get into this today. Are you guys excited to learn all of the secrets on $10,000 brand deals, $10,000 above brand deals? I know I'm super stoked. So a lot of you guys might have seen last month I made $60,000 in brand collaborations alone, which is just an insane number to be able to say and see and have that come in. It's just insane. Like, what would that mean for you guys if you made $60,000 in a single month from brand collaborations? Wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't that be so incredible? It's a life-changing number. And of course, this is a little on the higher end of what we usually make. It's usually around $10,000 to $20,000 per month. But hopefully, leaning into the future, we'll be seeing more and more months get up to this stature. So super exciting. Before we get started, I just want to have a little earnings disclaimer. By the end of this webinar, you guys aren't going to be able to go and make $60,000 next month. I'm sure a lot of you probably knew that, right? It's taken me years and years to get to this point. But in fact, when I first started, all I wanted to do was be able to just support my travel, right? I wanted to have enough gas to get from point A to point B to sustain my travel and live a life of freedom. And once I was doing that, I started thinking, wait a second, is this actually sustainable? Like, would I be able to retire? How long can I do this until I have to go back to the real world, get a job, have a retirement plan? So that's what led me into looking into what's the actual potential of being a content creator? What are some of the top earning content creators making? And that's when I found out that some of the top paid content creators are making $38 million per year. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that insane? $38 million per year. So the potential in this is just absolutely crazy. So those people have around 30, or the person that I can't remember his name. I meant to include it in here, but I totally forgot. But he had 34 million followers. And I thought, all right, now I only have 3,000 followers now. If I just keep going, if I keep learning, if I keep implementing the things that I learned, I'm only going to keep growing, right? Like, you put more into it year after year after year, you're going to keep growing. And so I currently have 2.2 million followers across my platforms, each page making over $10,000 per month. Isn't that so? It's so crazy to say. So crazy to say. But yeah, a little background into just the potential to kind of show you guys, maybe you're starting out small, maybe you only have 5,000 followers, maybe you only have 10,000 followers, but think about the potential when you have 100,000 followers, when you have 500,000 followers, when you hit 1 million followers. So, the future and the potential of this is just absolutely incredible. And we are so excited to share that with you today and get you well on your way so much faster than we learned it ourselves. Because like I said, it's taken like 7 years to learn all of this. So we're super stoked to be able to give it to you and, have you well on your way so much quicker, so much faster. So getting into what you are going to learn today, we're going to be teaching you 3 secrets, the 3 secrets to $10,000 brand deals that has nothing to do with follower count. So secret number 1 is give brands exactly what they are looking for in a partner without hundreds of thousands of followers. Secret number 2 is know exactly what you should be charging in less than 30 seconds. And secret number 3 is negotiate confidently and professionally without fear of rejection every single time. How many of you guys struggle when it comes to knowing what to say, when talking to a brand, talking money, how to ask for money, how to ask for more money? Let us know in the comments if you are somebody who struggles with that. Maybe you're somebody who has taken deals, product exchange collabs when you knew that you should be getting paid for it, but you just didn't know how to ask. So Ian, I'll go ahead and let you take over and we'll get right into the training today.
Thank you for that introduction, Chas. So secret number 1, give brands exactly what they're looking for in a partner without hundreds of thousands of followers. Let me go back to that slide. So what do brands want? These are all different things brands want along the way. Some brands want all of these and others just want a couple. But the biggest thing a lot of creators have trouble with at the beginning, it's almost like you're blindfolded, spinning around, and you have a dart and you're trying to hit the bullseye with the brand on that dartboard, but it's just impossible. You're reaching out as much as you can, but the biggest problem is you're reaching out to the wrong brands, the wrong people, and you're reaching out with the wrong information. So I'm going to hit that up with secret number one. First is results. If a brand's going to give you money, you have to give them a return on their investment. So if a brand gives you $1,000, they either want the $1,000 or more back, and then they'll invest more money into you. Also, brands look for link clicks on their website to either purchase a product or download an app, or sales. Sales are huge. That's what we do well on YouTube. I think YouTube is the best sales machine when it comes to working with brands. And that's what we focus on YouTube, making conversions for companies. Lastly, if you have an account like Chas, getting hundreds of thousands of views consistently, brands want views. They want their product and their name in front of as many people as possible, and brands will pay big bucks. As you saw, Chas made over $60,000 in a month. I think brand awareness is huge. Sales are huge. All four of these are something brands are looking for. So you're probably wondering at the beginning, how do I share results from brands if brands aren't even willing to work with me? Well, you could do it yourself. We use something to this day, Linkly. We just started using a year ago, and I think this is a great hack. If I had this at the beginning of my career, it would have been much better to get brand deals. So Linkly will track links below your YouTube video if you post it in your stories. I know Instagram tracks it, but I like it all in one place on this website. We do pay $30 for this site, but it does help land more brand deals. So if you go over and look at the top one, $50 villa in Canggu, we made a video on Bali, and we were just showing a $50 villa that was so amazing. And we said, hey, if you guys want to stay here, it's linked down in the description below. We don't get anything from it, but we love staying here. And what we were really trying to do there is get link clicks. And as you see, we got 978 link clicks in a couple months. We posted that video. It got, I think, almost at 100,000 views. But this is customers going to the Airbnb and definitely. So it's great to show this to future hotels or future brands. If you look down to the e-bike one, that video on YouTube got 40,000 views and we got 317 link clicks. They want to work with us again on an e-bike video. It's because sending that many people to their website is very, very amazing for them. And they want to keep investing in us to get more people to their website and buy their product. Now, you could also, instead of tracking it yourself, you work with brands that will track it for you. They have these dashboards. This one is from Get Your Guide. They're a long-term partner with us, and they show you amazing stats like unique visitors, bookings, conversion rate, your commission income, and your next payout. But they're very to the point here. They want to be as transparent as possible, not only for themselves, but for you. And the best part about this is you know what's doing well and you know what's not doing well. And then you're able to see, oh, we should make more videos like this to get more link clicks. Those are two ways to track your performance. And this is what brands want to see when you send them an email. Next up is content relevance and niche. I think this is one of the most underrated ones. Each and every single one of you, I don't care if you're all travel influencers or travel content creators, each one of you have a slightly different niche. Some of you are solo female travelers, others are luxury hotel creators, or you could even be a cook. You don't need to be a travel creator. It's just all about reaching out to the brand that fits your niche and your brand perfectly. So are you a natural fit for their product or service? Does their product or service fit your content? Don't go after every brand. I think that's what people make a mistake at. They see everyone working with all these different brands. What you need to do is find what works best for you. So maybe test out certain products or softwares without even collaborating with the brand and see what people are pressing on those links. See what people are interested in your community and your audience. I'm going to give you an example of CaliCase versus Skillshare real quick. These are two different brands we have worked with at the beginning of our careers when we only had like 5,000 to 20,000 subscribers. So first is Skillshare. If you see with these 6 videos, we did a long-term deal with them way at the beginning, and we got 2 million views throughout these 6 videos combined. For me, I was like, this brand's going to work with me forever. But it ended up being a failure because they said, no, they don't want to go on with this partnership. And I was really stunned. And this is what you have to realize. Skillshare wasn't a fit for our niche or our audience. We weren't making conversions for them. And that's exactly, a lot of brands go to YouTube to make conversions. A lot of brands go to all different social medias to make conversions, but especially YouTube. So if you see down here, it says percentage of signups relating to the video costs. We only got 0.37% conversion rate, and they're looking for 10% or higher to re-up for a longer term deal. As you see down here, even if we try to predict results, sometimes it also happens that your audience is not a fit for Skillshare. And that was a big learning curve at the beginning of our career. We realized, even though we did really well with them on brand awareness and views, sometimes a brand's not looking for that. So next up is Cali Case. This is an underwater phone case that floats. And this brand made so much sense to us. As you see in the videos, there's a bunch of water and we always are diving, cliff jumping, swimming, snorkeling. And this brand fit us perfectly. Even though we get half the amount of views for them, this was a way bigger success than Skillshare and led to bigger and bigger deals. As this is our conversion rate with them. If you are confused about conversion rate, this is the amount of people that head to their website and actually purchase the item. So this was a $30 phone case that for underwater use, and we had 34% conversion rate. This is like out of the world conversion rate. If you're wondering what's a good conversion rate brands are looking for, it's 4%. So getting that 34%, Cali Case was stunned. They haven't had anyone do that before, and it was all with the YouTube videos. And then we generated only $12,000, or we generated $12,000 for them, and the case cost $30. So that was a lot of sales for them. So in the end, they started making bigger deals with us. We did a customized case with them. They bought stock footage from us. They bought UGC content from us. So once you do good for one brand, there's so many opportunities and streams of income coming from that one brand. So focus on the brand that fits your niche best. Next up is a compatible audience. Every brand reaches out and they're going to ask you some questions. They're going to ask for your rates, but they're also going to ask for your demographics. So your brand, what's your YouTube demographics? What age is your audience? Where is your audience from? And the reality is, if you have a US audience versus an Indonesian audience, you're going to be making so much more money with the US audience because brands are spending more in that country and for that consumer. Sorry if I'm speaking fast, but we got a lot to talk about. So this has to do with AdSense too on YouTube. So with AdSense, you're going to make more money with the US audience compared to Indonesia. So in Indonesia, we were making 90 cents every 1,000 views. 90 cents for every 1,000 views. In the US, we were making $9 to $10 for every 1,000 views with YouTube AdSense. That's a huge, huge difference. So it just depends. Who do you want to make content for? Where do you want to make content about? But I'm not saying going after an Indian or Indonesian audience is wrong. It's just that you have to rely on more amounts of views. So we have friends that get millions of views in India. They're really relying on that amount of views to get that AdSense up, while we're only getting 100,000 views or 200,000 views on our videos, but it kind of evens out in the end. So you just got to decide what audience is perfect for your niche. Now, these are our stats on YouTube, just quickly running through. We have a 31% on YouTube. This is what we send to all our brands. And 25 to 34-year-olds watch our videos the most. And it's the same thing on Instagram. 25 to 34-year-olds, the US audience. Brands like to see this throughout. That way you're able to package up deals better, because that's more of a consistent audience and demographic for them to go after. Let's keep it rolling. Next up, brands are looking at their campaign budget and seeing if your rates fit theirs. Now, this is a quote from the Get Your Guide Partnerships Manager, Hussein. I think a common misconception is that because a brand is well-known and successful, they must have access to unlimited budgets and they must be trying to underpay. While this can, of course, be true and bad practices do exist, the reality is that budgets are also attached to very specific success metrics. Next is, as long as your performance metrics align with the company's KPIs, you can always count on the brand spending more on your channels. If you look over here, we made a big mistake. We got very emotional that they didn't like the deal we were putting forward. So this is what we sent them. We said, you're a two-person team, or we're a two-person team, and Get Your Guide is $1 billion company. If you look at everything we are offering, it's ridiculous how low this offer is. At some point, you have to stop overanalyzing the analytics. It's kind of being a little disrespectful there. And this could have ruined our long-term partnership. But instead, he came back with a very nice message. I also understand that you may see us as a $1 billion company, but what we really are is a 500+ employee company with hundreds of ongoing projects and dozens of teams, all of which require funding towards ensuring certain business goals are achieved. So working within the budgets we are allocated is not optional. It is rather necessary. So not every brand's trying to screw you over. Of course, they're going to try to get you at a lowest price possible, but they're not. They have thousands, tens of thousands of creators they're working with on that month for that campaign. So you have to be respectful of them with their campaign. And sometimes it just doesn't fit. Next up is engagement. You can't just have views anymore. You need engagement. You can't just have followers. Followers are meaning less and less. Of course, it's a great topic to say you have such a big audience, but if they're not engaged, then it doesn't matter. I think you guys are going to be mind blown at what I'm going to show you next. But having an engaged community on social media is the number one way to make money nowadays, whether that's for brands or for yourself with your own products. That's how we did it with this webinar. We have a bunch of you guys interested in this topic, and we just sold this webinar to everyone, and it worked out great because we have an engaged audience that really wants to learn and trust us. So next up, I want to show you this. This is crazy. So fake followers. There's a lot of people that buy followers and likes out there, but you can go to 2 of these sites and check your own stats. But let me go back. InBeat or Modash. There's all different sorts of sites you could cross-check, but this one says our score is an exceptional. We have 160,000 out of 160,000 real followers. Our engagement's around 12%. This is so fun to look at, not only yourself, you can look at any creator in the world. This is probably going to be a lot of fun for you guys after this webinar, just checking on your favorite creators, seeing if they have real followers. But the metric to go by, if you have less than 20% fake followers, that is a real account. It just means bots are always going to be around. So if you have like 10% to 20% fake followers, that's still a really engaged audience. You just have a couple bots. Now, this is someone in the travel industry that has bought followers and likes. If you see, they have 290,000 followers on Instagram. The average likes are around 6,000. That means they're buying followers, but also buying likes. If you see the engagement, it's 2%. They only have 100,000 out of 300,000 followers that are real. See, this is what's tainting the entire creator industry, but brands are getting smarter, and that's good for you if you're being honest creator. Like Chas and I said, it's taken us 5 years to get to this point, to make these big deals. So you should just be true to yourself, true to your timeline, and don't be like this person that's faking it to make it. One day, brands are going to they already have AI software to vet these creators and see that their engagement is fake. They're not going to be spending money. Of course, there was a gold rush during COVID, and people were getting away with having fake followers. Nowadays, brands can't do that to their return on investment. They need a return on investment. And we have seen over time, managers have been getting fired for picking the wrong creators. So don't fake your followers, get real engagement, work your way. It's going to be a slow growth. Trust me, we all had slow growth, but we kept grinding. Now, another thing brands are going to be looking for is quality. And this is very subjective when we talk about content. Content quality for YouTube, for us, we like to go highest quality travel videos, DSLR cameras, drone shots. But what you have to realize is some comedians or entertainers are on TikTok just talking to the camera with their phone and making millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year with their phone. So that's subjective. It's about the ideas you have. It's about the amount of views you're getting and the quality, subjective quality of your content. Also, quality has to do with your professionalism. How have you worked with brands in the past? How are you responding to their emails? Is it appropriate? Are you saying the right things? So you should also look at quality with your media kit and testimonials. I'm going to show Chas's next. This is an amazing media kit. I'm just going to go through it real quick. So at the top, it's the brand name, which is Through the Lens, a photo of you, a short paragraph about who you are, your contact info, and then a little bit of previous collaborations, who you've worked with. Then you go down a little bit to your social media stats. Of course, these have gone up tremendously since she's made this media kit. And at the bottom, you have audience insights or your services offered. So this is a great media kit to go off of. Make it your own, but also with case studies. These are testimonials or screenshots of what her audience said about products. So like Chas has worked with Target, all these amazing brands, and this is something you send to the brand in your pitch email. It's an easy way to show them your worth, what brands you have worked with in the past. And of course, if you haven't worked with any brands, you're not going to have this, but you could always have a media kit with that you're sending over in an email. This will come with time. Case studies will come with time, but when you have this can get you way bigger deals. And you can go off of this. These slides will always be here for you to replay, and you can look at these in more detail. So next up is unique ideas. This can be a really big moneymaker, and we actually just proved that this Friday with some unique ideas we gave to a brand. So this is huge money. Brands don't want you just to throw trends out. And I know Instagram and TikTok have a lot of trends, and brands don't want that. They want unique ideas for their product. And I think Chas does an amazing job with the pet account with unique ideas. So many good brand deals there. So this is how you get brands on Zoom/phone calls. You email them with your media kit and you say, hey, I have this amazing idea for you. Here it is. And I also have a lot more where that came from. I would love to jump on a call with you to go over these. And that way the brand knows you have an amazing idea for their specific product and service. Not anyone else's. You're going at that product because you really want to work with that brand. You think it's perfect for you and your idea. So this is a great example. OptiVolt is a solar panel brand. They work with the U.S. government, but now they're getting into consumers in the van life niche. And of course, they want to switch out our old solar panels with their new technology. And at first, it was a one-off deal, just one YouTube video, and they asked us what the idea was for that. So instead, I said, I have 4 YouTube video ideas and 6 short form video ideas. So let's hop on a call. I would love to show you. And this is exactly what I pulled up. We're going to go over this in negotiations later on. I'll show you my whole pitch to them. But basically I said, okay, you probably want to be in our $70,000 van tour. Van tour videos do great on YouTube, but what about getting ranked for the best of Dolomites? So our video will pop up if any van lifer or anybody for that matter looks for Dolomites on YouTube. If you type in Dolomites in the search bar. So we can get you searched. Not only that, we have 3 kittens now. I know we're selling them already, but they're a part of us and they're a part of the van. So keeping them cool is very important. So with their new technology, even in the shade, they're getting 50% more watts pulled to the van and our battery. So for us, if we're able to keep our kittens cool in the summer and show off show that they're really cool in our van and we're underneath a shaded tree, they really love that idea. They're like, wow, a lot of van lifers do have pets. And this idea is perfect for what our solar panels are able to do. Next one, I told them that we would love to do a US searchable video on YouTube for them. And then we kind of, for the short form, we kind of do similar ones that as long form, just make them shorter. And then we add other ones that have done well in the past with our other van life content. So top 5 add-ons for our van, how we power our van, 60-second van tour. These can be very powerful on short form. So YouTube shorts or even Instagram reposted. So when you bring these ideas to the table, we turned a one-off brand deal into a $30,000 brand deal with, I know there's a lot of content. We'll go into it later, but we were able to turn that one-off into a long-term deal like that with a phone call and ideas. These unique ideas are everything for brands. Lastly is competitive advantage. There's so many brands out there, so many hotels, so many tourism boards. Everyone is fighting for the consumer's attention, for the consumer dollar. And that's where the brand comes. If you're able to put the brand, hotel, or tour company at a competitive advantage and you know exactly how, they're going to want to work with you. Trust me. And I'm going to show you an example here real quick. So Insta360 and GoPro. With Insta360, they sent us a X3, one of their action cameras. And if you didn't know, GoPro also has a 360 camera. So GoPro, I think everyone knows that for the action camera. Everyone knows that name. Insta360 is fairly new, but what we did for them on Instagram and short form, we got them 25 million views, 500,000 likes, a couple videos for them. They just sent us a camera free. We just want to test it out, and it did really well. And what we told this brand after the fact is we saw a lot of comments and people were messaging us, was this the Insta360 or the GoPro? People are very confused between these two brands and which one to spend their money on. So we told Insta360, let us work on a long-term deal. We'll make sure Insta360 is the #1 360 camera in the travel niche or for any adventure around the world. And this is what the brand, we'll talk about them later, really loved. They love having a competitive advantage, especially with influencers and content creators. I think that's Chas. You're up next.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ian. And I wanted to also let you guys know, obviously Ian and Anna are YouTubers. They also have Instagram. All of these tips do apply to Instagram just as much as YouTube. And then I am only Instagram. So for everyone who's worried, saying like, oh, will this work for Instagram? Everything is very fluid. It works together.
Same with TikTok. Sorry to cut you off. All of them, it works. It's the same deal. All of these, all this information.
Yep. Awesome. All right. Thank you, Ian.
Yeah.
Cool. So I will be getting into secret number 2 now, which is knowing exactly what you should be charging in less than 30 seconds. So how many of you guys feel like it's the wild, wild west out there when it comes to setting your rates? Maybe you have no idea what you should be charging for different services, when you should be charging more, what services you should be charging more for. That's what we're going to get into today. So I hope you guys are super excited to dive into this. So let me switch this over here. Okay, so before I share this secret with you, we used to have to guess our value as content creators, which for somebody starting out, and I'm sure you guys can relate to this as well. It's really hard to kind of understand our value as content creators, especially when you see, these large creators with 100,000 followers, 500,000 followers. You think, why could little old me with 3,000 followers get paid by a brand when there's, much bigger influencers out there? So guessing our value can be incredibly hard. And I just want to, I don't know if you guys saw this post on Friday that I made, but just to kind of put this in perspective for you, a brand that wants to get on the radio and have a radio station that has like 5,000 listeners per week, the brand would have to pay a minimum of $1,500 to get an ad on that radio station. And that the radio station only has 5,000 listeners per week. $1,500 to get in front of 5,000 people on the radio. So if that doesn't put into perspective that even if you have 3,000 followers, even if you have 1,000 followers, that is a niched audience, a niche community this brand should pay you to get in front of, to promote their products. So anyway, you are valuable. Just know you are valuable. We also used to have to ask others, which would make things even more confusing, because I would ask one person who has 50,000 followers, what do you charge for whitelisting? And they would say, oh, I charge $1,000 for whitelisting. And then I'd ask someone who had 100,000 followers, what do you charge for whitelisting? And they would say, oh, I don't charge anything extra for whitelisting. So it's just, there's so many things. It really, truly is like the wild, wild west out there. And then you would find out that you way undercharged. And this happened to me so very often. And we'll get into more specific examples of this, negotiations. I've included negotiations from when I was a smaller account so that, it applies to you guys. You don't have to have, the amount of followers that we have in order to be successful. But we do want to just kind of show you guys the potential. We'll be getting into whitelisting for all those asking. We'll get into all that in a second. So there are 3 fees to consider when coming up with the rate, the overall rate that you're going to give the brand. So the first fee is the influencer fee. The second is the content fee. And the third is the license and usage fee. So the influencer fee is the price of posting the ad to your social media platform. How many of you guys have seen either myself or other content creators post branded content for brands? Usually, there should be a little paid toggle at the top. I'm sure you guys have seen this before, but that is the service of the influencer fee. And there are 2 things that you should charge more when it comes to this. Actually, I realize now that I didn't put whitelisting on this slide. So I'll tell you about that in a second. But the 2 areas where you should charge more are exclusivity. And this means that you can't work with any of the brand's competitors for a set amount of time. I'll have an example of this later on, again, in the negotiation section, what it will look like. And we'll talk about, what to charge for this as well here in a little bit. Just kind of giving you guys an overview of things to know. Another way that you should charge more is for a viral clause. And this means that you get X amount more money for X many views that you get. An example that I just did with a brand was I would get paid $1,000 extra for every 5,000 or 500,000 views that my reel received. So if I get 2 million views on that reel, that's $4,000 extra that I'll be getting on top of the initial payment. And again, we'll get into how to negotiate this later on. And then the third thing, whitelisting. So whitelisting is when a brand will run an ad on the back end of your page. So when the ad shows up for other people on social media, it'll look as if it is posted from you. However, you don't have to post it to your feed in order for the brand to do this. The brand is simply using your likeness as the content creator to run an ad for them. And there's, systems and processes all set up in the back end. If a brand ever requests you to do this, they'll be able to walk you through how to do it and set everything up. So next is the content fee. So this is the price of actually creating the content itself. So I don't know if you guys knew this, but as a content creator, we are offering multiple services in one. Before content creation, a brand would have to hire, models, a photographer, the studio to shoot in, all these different people and all these different services, where content creators are offering this all in one. So anytime that you are actually creating content for a brand, whether you're all posting it to your social media or whether you're just giving it to the brand to use, you'll be charging a content fee. So your content fee is going to depend on your experience, your gear, the time that it takes you to create the content, your skill level, if there are any extra expenses involved, and then the medium that you are, creating the content. Is it a reel? Is it a long form video? Is it photo, a static post on Instagram? That's all going to, go into the content creator fee. And this can range anywhere from $20 per piece of content to $2,000 and above per piece of content. And to give you guys a little bit of an example, I charge around $500 per reel, and then like a carousel, I'll do like $700 will be my content fee. And then there's also usage fee. Now, the usage fee is the fee that you should get for when a brand is using your content. Now, this is whether they want to post it to their social media. This is whether they want to put it on their website, if they want to run ads with it. This is the usage fee, the licensing fee. You're licensing your content. And it doesn't matter if you have 0 followers or 1 million followers, you should never give away your content for free. You should always, always, always be getting at least a usage fee, at least the licensing fee, the cost to license the content that you create. And then this is going to depend on the placement. So whether they want to just repost it to social media, whether they want to put it up on a billboard, those are going to be wildly different prices. And then it's also going to depend on the length of time. And again, we'll get into how to actually charge for these things in just a second. So yeah, placement and then the length of time that they want to use it. So let's say they want to put it on a billboard for 6 months. That's how you're going to configure the usage fee. And then also there is something called full rights and perpetuity. And this is when the brand gets full rights. They own your image. They can do whatever they want with it for however long they want. And I feel like a lot of professional photographers and people in this world who have a lot of experience and have been doing this a long time, it's kind of controversial because a lot of people don't. We really want to discourage brands from getting full rights to our content because it kind of devalues our content when we do that, when we give away full rights, especially for anyone who gives away full rights for free. It just makes me want to never, ever, 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 ever. I don't care how much experience you guys have. I don't care how many followers you have. Never give away full rights to your images for free. That is insane. And it incredibly devalues the industry when people do that. And so now I'm going to actually give you guys the secrets on how to set these rates. And I'm going to show you how to use my rate calculator. So in the email that has either been sent out or is going to get sent out, you guys will receive a link to this. But it is, let me share my screen here real quick. Hold on. Let me present, share screen, entire screen, share. let me guys know in the chat when you guys can see my full screen. Let me know if you can see it, and then I will go ahead and get started into showing you guys how to use the rate calculator. So let me know in the chat if you guys can see my screen. It's gonna look like a bunch of crazy boxes. Okay, cool. Yep, people can see it. I just want to make sure. So if you go over to throughTheLens.com/rates, it'll pull up my rate guide here. And this is the guide has a lot of information. I definitely recommend, reading through the guide before you go into the calculator. Like here, it gives you the exact percentages. So organic, social. So sorry, back up a little bit. This is the licensing fee, the usage fee. It gives you kind of details on reposting your image for the brand. That's called organic social, or paid social is when they run ads with your content. Digital is if they want to put it on websites, and then it gives you the actual percentages down here. But we have an actual calculator. Oh, hopefully. Oh gosh. Okay, I can't show you guys my password, so hold on. Let me pull it up over here where I'm already logged in. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so here is my rate calculator, and I'm going to show you guys how to use this because I feel like a lot of people get confused. This link to the calculator has been shared everywhere, and I swear every time I see people talking about it, they are a little confused about how it works. So first, I just want to give Maddie a shout out for putting this calculator together, Mad Ventures Travel. She might be here today, I think, actually. But anyway, she put this guide together based on the guide that I wrote. So basically what you do is you'll want to plug your follower count in. So let's say you have 3,000 followers. You can check your engagement rate by Googling engagement rate calculator. There should be a few free options that pop up. You can plug in your information and then you can check your engagement rate. If you're not sure if it's above average or not, you can Google like, what's the average engagement for an account with less than 10,000 followers, because it will change. I think for an account with less than 10,000 followers, like 6 to 7% is above average. For an account with under 100,000 followers, it's around 4%, and it keeps going down the bigger your account gets. So if you're not sure, you can just simply Google it. But anyway, let's say you have 3,000 followers. Let's say you do have an above average engagement rate. You'll want to tick this because that is another reason to charge more money when you have, good engagement. And then let's say the brand wants to do a reel, and let's say they're asking for 6 months of exclusivity. And you do, again, always want to add your content fee. Anytime you are making content for a brand, you should be adding your content fee. And so 3,000 followers, I was a beginner at this point. I probably would have charged like $75 for making the reel itself. And then any extra expenses. So this is like, if you have to go travel somewhere, let's say they want a specific location, a specific anything like waterfall, for example, I would have to, drive 3 hours to go to the nearest waterfall. I know that's going to take a full tank of gas, and to fill my truck up, it's about $80. So I'm going to add that expense in there so that they cover the travel expenses. And then a little tip for you guys, and we'll get into this a little bit later on as well. Always, always, always add organic social to your rate. Most brands, like 90% of the brands that you work with, are going to want to repost your content to their own social media. And so I always, just to avoid the whole awkward conversation of them coming back and saying, oh, we can share this, or them just sharing it without having asked permission. And then you have to be like, well, actually I charge extra for that. And you have to like go and have this whole awkward conversation with them. I always just include it in the fee that I give to them. So include that. We'll do 1 month of that. And then I also wanted to mention, because I know this confuses a lot of people as well, when you give licensing for organic social, for them reposting it to their own social media channel, that does not mean they have to go and delete it a month later. It just means they can't repost it again as new after that time period has ended. So within that month, they can use it on stories, they can use it as an in-feed post, they can, do whatever they want in terms of like posting it to their social media. But after that month has ended, they can no longer do that, but they don't have to delete what they have already uploaded. That would just be a little silly. So anyway, here now you can see how someone with 3,000 followers can earn an almost $15,000, or sorry, not 15,000, $1,500 brand deal. So that kind of just gives you a basic overview of how to use this rate calculator. I use this for every single brand that comes to me and wants my rates. I don't even know what I charge off the top of my head. I just come in here, plug in my numbers, plug in what they want, and come up with the fee. So let me pop back over to my slides here. Okay. Cool. Oh yeah, and then I also wanted to say a lot of people get confused too on like, can this be used for UGC? Can the calculator be used for UGC as well? It absolutely can be used for UGC as well. And then if you are using the calculator for UGC, let me just share my screen real quick again. If you guys are using the calculator for UGC, you just put 0 up here, 0 for the influencer fee, 0 for the exclusivity fee, and then you just do the content fee, like the amount that you're charging, and then whatever that the brand is wanting, your content for, and you come and plug that in, and that's how you figure out UGC. So it's definitely compatible for both UGC and Instagram and TikTok rates. And then Ian will be getting into YouTube rates here in a second. But yeah, cool. And then, okay, so a couple questions I'm seeing real quick. Do you break that down when sending the rates to a brand? Most of the time, no. I have occasionally have brands asked for the breakdown, but usually I just give them the overall fee. I will explain, sometimes I'll be like, for licensing, I'll like reiterate like what they're getting, like for the post on my page, for 6 months licensing, for the exclusivity, like this is my rate. But yeah, that's what I do. UGC is user generated content. It's basically, you just taking content for the brand, making content for the brand, whether it's images, whether it's a reel, and not posting it to your own social media. You're just making it for the brand to use. And this is really big. This is a really big way that I was making a lot of money during our full-time travels. Okay. If you have any questions at the end, make sure you write your questions down, because like Ian said, we have a ton that we're trying to get through today within this 2 hours. So write your questions down, and we'll do the live Q&A at the end, or Anna will be in there and answering what she can. But let's go ahead and move on. Ian's going to talk a little bit about his experience with rates.
Hey, everyone. Nice job, Chas. That was a lot of amazing information. Yeah, so this is early on our career. We messed up big time with this, with exclusivity and licensing, especially with licensing. We didn't know how to, we didn't have a rate calculator. We didn't have rate Chas to help us out. But the image on the left is something we did on our 4-month road trip about 3 years ago. It was at the beginning of our career. We took a photo. The brand loved it, and they ended up wanting to use it on their box. Now, this is a rinse kit. It's a portable shower that we used in van life because our small little van didn't have a shower. And they wanted to put it on their box, on their website, and everywhere. And we didn't really look into the contract hard enough. We just saw the price they were giving us. And at that time, I know a lot of you are going to laugh, but at that time, it was a lot of money for one photo. I'm going to show you the price that we were paid for this. And it was a lot. We were poor and we needed money fast. So the brand wasn't budging. And now it's on boxes in Sam's Club and Walmart around the country in the US. I don't know if it's still there, but these are photos that a lot of our followers saw us in Sam's Club and Walmart and sent it to us. And it was really exciting. But it also, there was something in us that was like, dang, we could have got way more money out of this, especially because they were on Shark Tank. They actually got bought out by Draymond, I think. If he, yeah. So basically, this is what the contract read, and we didn't really care about it because we got $1,000 for one photo. And back then, I was like, oh my gosh, we made it. But in reality, we got screwed big time because they got a permission to use this in advertising, social media, promotional marketing activity, including their social media websites, retailer websites, packaging, banner ads, and describe below. I'm just laughing at this because they went deep. Because if you read in scope of license, it says royalty free, fully paid, non-exclusive, irrevocable, perpetual, unrestricted, worldwide use. And we got screwed over big time. Although it was cool to be on this box and a product we did use and love, we just felt bad blood there after. And I would say we could have gotten way more money out of this one photo with Chas's calculator. But yeah, at the beginning of your career, you're confused, you're excited at the same time. You don't know what to rate your photography or your videography or your social media. So definitely use that calculator. It's different for YouTube. But with YouTube flat rates, a brand paying you to put that video on and promote their product or service. Sponsors all around TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube really like to go off of click per mil. That's CPM right there. So average views divided by 1,000 times your click per mil. So if you're getting 50,000 views, you divide it by 1,000, that will give you 50. And the average click per mil is different for every niche. Some niches like finance pay way more than travel niche. That's why we always say pick a niche, whatever one you want, but some will pay more than others because some brands are willing to pay and ads are willing to pay more for that niche and get you in front of the consumers. But what you can do is the average is around 30 to 70 click per mil. It can vary, and some brands will come up to you. Like we just had one recently say, right now we're working with a 60 CPM. So 60 times 50 would be, sorry, I just want to make sure I'm correct on this. That would be $3,000 for the flat rate of promoting that product. But also what comes in is also that content fee and also that influencer fee. It's harder to find engagement on YouTube because every single video is very unique. Some are going more viral, some are going more after SEO, and you really need to break down how much it costs to just create the video. When you're starting out, how much time is it taking you to make the thumbnail, come up with the idea, time it takes to film, expertise of talking on the camera, and finally editing, which can take a while. So add all that time up, come up with a price that's fair, and also add that to the views you're getting for that sponsorship price per video, that flat rate. Do not let brands use your current view count against you. Every brand's going to be like, sorry, you're only getting this amount of views. We have this to this day. Even with proof, we're able to perform with brands. They try to use it against you and say, sorry, your past 2 videos only got X amount of views. Because of that, we're only going to give you this click per mil, this CPM. And other than that, you have to tell a brand, this is how long it takes me and how much work I have to do to create a video. This is my charge for just the creation of the video alone. And then you can go with that CPM and add that all in. But right here, this was our old YouTube rate and our Instagram rate. This was our first rate card ever. We didn't do half bad. Our old name used to be The Other Side Vlog for any old fans out there. But now it's Ian and Anna. So for a 30-second ad on YouTube, it was $200. Way too low. And let me tell you, it takes time to edit, to create the videos, travel expenses. Just like Chas said, make sure you're putting that all into your rate. So this is what happened with our Cali case. I'm going to go into performance bonuses because just like Chas said, this is a great way to make more money. When you prove yourself, then you deserve more money. When you're getting more views, you deserve that money coming in. So this is an email we got after sending this rate card. We got this email back from CaliCase. With that said, I'm interested in beginning with 4 30-second ad features on your YouTube channel and 6 Instagram stories once the pandemic. This is way back when. And this is when I felt like we got this email same day, like in the next 30 minutes, they were hopping on that $200 flat rate price, as you see up there. And I just felt like complete shit. Sorry, excuse my language, but we just felt bad about that. I was like, I am definitely undervaluing myself if someone said yes immediately to 4 full YouTube videos. So then I got back to him. I was like, no way. I'm going to let someone screw me over like Rinskid again. So I said, I will set up a time, or this is me wanting to hop on a call. And I always say hop on a Zoom call or a phone call with every brand you want to at least work with long term, or even come up with ideas and share them with the brand. It's better to be personal. It's better to give them that idea on the phone call and have a face behind the name. All other content creators are just reaching out through their social medias or their email. If you're able to pitch yourself and the brand responds, try to get on that phone call the best you can. Say you have a couple ideas and you would love to share it with them. But this is what we said. Would there be any way we could do a Skype call of some sorts? And this is where we had to go on that call and be like, I'm sorry. I'm going to keep the $200 flat rate because that was my mistake. I undervalued myself, but I'm going to need a performance bonus put in. So this is actually in the contract. This can be, you could use this the same for all the brands you work with. Take a screenshot, make your own. But this is what was in the contract with CaliCase. So at the top, it says each video will pay out a performance bonus based on the view count of the video and capped on a hybrid basis of either reaching 200,000 views or within a year. So it will cap out at 200,000 views. And as you see, the total bonus compensation from that would be $400. So we set it up like 50,000 views, we'll get $100 every time. So that was really low even back then. So maybe just try to give yourself a little bit more money, because 50,000 views on long form YouTube videos is very valuable. So this is in the contract, to make sure the brand has it in the contract or they will not pay you out. And a lot of people are probably asking themselves, how are they paying you? Are you keeping up with your video views? And yes, monthly, I'll go back to those certain videos and I'll look, did they hit that threshold? Did they hit the 100,000? They owe me this. And with CaliCase, it happened a lot. And this is an example with Lake Powell. This is our first video we did with them. And this is why they re-upped with us. So we got 200,000 views. This is almost 3 years ago now. But the flat rate, as you see, is $200. But we had affiliate program with them for selling these underwater phone cases. So they were $30 cases. We got 20% commission. So we ended up making $1,000 on commission from this one video. And then their performance bonus, see, the money having all these streams of income comes out to a way bigger deal. Even though that flat rate was really small, you prove yourself by getting views, getting engagement, and getting people to buy products. And that's the power of performance bonuses. Nowadays, we have a way bigger performance bonus, and it really does. Money comes in monthly from just hitting these targets. And you can make it different. You could do this on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Bring this to a brand. They're going to feel more comfortable spending less on your flat rate and more on your performance bonus, because at least you're giving them value. So this is a great way for every beginner. 100 followers, 1,000 followers, bring this performance bonus up and come up with it on your own, whatever you feel like you deserve for that 50,000 views. Nowadays, for 50,000 views, we do $1,000. And I'll show you that later in negotiation process. But this is just great money coming in, because we do know when we're going to hit certain thresholds, especially with SEO content. So on YouTube, the reason it's different than any other platform, because it has the longest shelf life. Videos that are 10 years old will continue to bring in views if they're good enough videos. And that's a whole different topic. Right now, we're talking about negotiating. I just want to show you this. This video is 2 years and 240 days old, Lake Powell video, and it's still bringing in views for that CaliCase, for that brand. And people are continuing to buy CaliCases. Now that our deal's over, remember with that performance bonus, it ended after a year, and now it's hitting newer thresholds. And if you see on the right here, the past 48 hours, I took the screenshot today, it still gets 140 views in the past 48 hours, and it's 3 years old. That is the power of YouTube, and it's the power of conversions. Good thing about this, you still get affiliates throughout forever. That's in the deal. You get to keep affiliate commissions, and that's just a great kickback every month. All right. I think, Chas, you're going to head in here.
Thanks, Ian. Let me pull up my slides. Okay, cool. So I think this is going to be the most valuable section of what we teach you guys today. I am like so giddy with excitement for just my confidence in knowing that every single person here today is going to leave this web event as an expert at negotiating with brands in full confidence. You guys are going to do so professionally, confidently, and like this is going to change your life. And I hope you guys are excited as I am. Let me know in the chat if you guys are excited to get into this little section. Okay, cool. So secret number 3, confidently and professionally negotiating with brands without the fear of rejection. the way that we negotiate, how we craft our negotiations, all has so much to do with our ability to actually get the rates that we are asking, to actually get the amount that we deserve, the way that we negotiate. It's truly an art. And so, yeah, let's go ahead and dig right into it. Okay, so first I want to go over some best practices when it comes to negotiating with brands. First and foremost, becoming familiar with the industry standards. You guys just saw my rate calculator. Like I said, you'll get access to that in the goodies email that will get sent out to you. It'll contain the slides. It'll contain a link to the replay. It'll contain a link to the rate calculator. So you guys know exactly what you should be getting for each service that you are providing to a brand. So, that's going to be number one thing when it comes to negotiations, is knowing that the price that you are saying is what you should actually be getting, and it's a good price to give them. Number two is building your case. So there have been studies that show that if you can simply articulate and you know in your head why you should be getting paid or why you should be getting paid more, if you're able to build your case, you're going to have so much more success in your negotiations. And we're going to go through some real negotiations in a little bit, some templates for you guys, some real life examples that we've gone through. But yeah, this is just a little overview. So the third thing is first negotiate the pay, second negotiate the deliverables. And what I mean by this is I think a lot of people are scared to kind of go back and forth with a brand, to go back and forth and play that game of, I'm going to offer you this. Well, no, you should be paying me this, or no, let's do this. So first, you should always try to negotiate the pay. And an example of this is I had a brand reached out to me at the beginning of last year, and they offered me $500 for a reel on my travel page. And at the time, I think I had like 50,000 followers. So $500 was a little below my usual rate for that. And so I got back to them and I said, well, actually I charge $1,000. Like, let me know if this works for you. And they got back and said, no, we have a super strict budget, $500 for the reel, take it or leave it. And instead of just, accepting this lowball kind of offer that I know I should be getting paid more for, I got back to them and said, well, I can actually offer you guys a story for $500 instead. And they agreed. Stories are super easy for me to do. I just do it on my phone at home, record a quick thing, include the link, throw it up. So I felt like that was a win-win. They got to stay within their budget. I was able to negotiate the deliverables, bring it down to something that was going to be super easy for me and felt like it was worth $500. So always try to negotiate the pay first, because obviously we want more money, right? But if they come back and they say, no, our budget is super strict, negotiate the deliverables. Come back and say, well, this is actually what I can offer you that fits within your budget. So number four, you want to leave the conversation open. You never want to close it down on the brand. And what I mean by this is, let's say a brand reaches out to you and they offer a product exchange collaboration. Instead of getting back and saying, at this time, I'm only doing paid collaborations, let me know when the budget opens up in the future. You're kind of shutting it down right there instead of leaving the conversation open for and allowing the brand to make the next decision. And so instead, I would come back and say, I'm only doing I'm only doing paid collaborations at this time. Here's my rate. Let me know if this works for you. And you're kind of leaving the conversation open for the brand to make that final decision. And you want to do this throughout your negotiations as well, whether you're going back and forth and all that stuff. And then finally, walking away with confidence. The more that we're able to walk away from the deals that are not aligned with us, that we know are less than what we deserve, the more that we can confidently walk away from those, the more the industry is going to improve. And I'm sure you guys want the industry to be better and to improve. Am I right? Like, are you guys understanding? Are you getting it? That when we walk away with confidence and we turn those down, it will just improve the industry and make it better for all creators. So definitely don't be afraid to say no. And then getting into the actual negotiation structure, when I negotiate with brands, I always like to reiterate my excitement and why it's a good fit. I like to remind them why they should be working with me. why, why they need to have me as a creator. And then I confidently state my case, and then again, leave the conversation open. So I'm going to go over some of the most common scenarios that you guys will see in the influencer world when it comes to negotiating with brands. These are the most common things I see. So first and foremost, you guys always, always, always need to be going through your contracts and looking for these two things, because brands just love to throw these in there without discussing it with you first. Usually brands will say, hey, we want a reel and we want you to do story slides. Here's the rate. Awesome. Here's the contract. And then they'll throw these things in there. So make sure you're always checking the exclusivity and the licensing in your contracts. And we'll go over an example here in a second on how to negotiate these things when they have it in there. But exclusivity can look something like this in your contract. No competition clause. Sometimes it'll just say exclusivity, but it'll mention the amount of time that you are under contract for exclusivity for them. So the amount of time that you cannot work with other brands of their competitors. And you guys should obviously be getting paid more for this, because this is the potential of having to turn down other brand deals, other brands reaching out. If you're under exclusivity contract with another brand and you have to turn that down, that's money lost. And so you should absolutely be getting paid for the amount of time that you're working exclusively with this brand. And then the second thing that brands love to throw in their contracts is licensing. And a lot of times brands will include full rights to your content in their contracts without ever discussing it with you first. And so when they do this, this is kind of what that paragraph will look like. You hereby grant us perpetual, worldwide, exclusive, royalty-free license to use, display, blah, 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 your posts, your photos, all of that. So definitely make sure that you are going through your contracts. You're looking for these things, and you're letting them know that you charge for this. If they want it, they gotta pay you for it. And so here's how I would negotiate that with the brand. So this example here, this happened back, you can see in October of 2020. So this was, I think I had around 4,000 or 5,000 followers at the time. I was brand new to the industry. I was doing a lot of product exchange collaborations, but I was, starting to do where I was getting, or not starting to do, Brad and I were doing this full time at this point. And so we were like, look, we got to find a way to make this work. We got to find every single way that we can to make more money where we can. And so I get back and I say, my only concern is brand exclusivity for 3 months. Content creation, working with brands is my full-time job. So this is where I state my case. And your case, you don't have to be a full-time creator in order to build your case. You can simply say, with the amount of time that goes into this, I can't afford to work for free. And so I say, let me find it here. So I can't afford to work exclusively with the brand for 3 months without compensation for my time, while having to potentially turn down a paid collaboration with another brand if the opportunity arises. And then I give them my rate here. And let me tell you guys, I'm just so embarrassed by this rate. If you look, I am giving away full rights to 10 photos for $300. Guys, don't be like me in the beginning. This is why you're here. You're here to learn from us, because that is just absolutely insane. Like, I don't ever want to see a single one of you giving away 10 photos, full rights for $300. Like, full rights should be at least 4 figures, if not 5 figures for each piece of content. So anyway, again, this was when we were first starting out. So I was new, didn't really know. But anyway, they got back and they actually offered $400. So it's $100 higher than what I even offered them. And yeah, they accepted it. So it's as easy as that. It's as easy as just being able to know what to say and how to negotiate. And again, you guys will get a little booklet on negotiation templates. It also includes pitching templates. I did see a few questions asking, are we going to be going over pitching and finding brands and everything in this web event? This web event is just about brand negotiating with brands, but we will get into a little bit later on how you guys can get that information from us. So anyway, that's that example. Another example is I want you guys to know, you don't be afraid to go back and forth with a brand. Just because they give you one number doesn't mean that you can't go back and again ask for a higher number. And so here's a really great example of this. This is a brand that I pitched to. They had asked for my rate after my initial pitch. And I told them I typically charge $5,000 per IG reel, which includes organic licensing for you to repost the content, blah, 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 blah. And then they got back saying, what about $2,000 for the same video on Instagram and TikTok? And this was a little bit lower than what I was hoping. So I got back again and I said, would you be able to meet me in the middle at 3.5? So instead of just, taking their offer as like, this is the end all be all, they can only afford $2,000. I went back again and I said, let's meet me in the middle and do 3.5. And they got back again and said 3,000, to which I was happy to accept. So I went from, I added an extra $1,000 just from going back and asking that back and forth. Added an extra $1,000 to my rate. How much would that mean to you guys if you could just add an extra $1,000 here, an extra $1,000 there? Like, wouldn't that be amazing? And hopefully with these tips, you should be able to do this. So another example that I want to share with you guys is a brand's first offer is never going to be their highest offer. So this is a brand that reached out to me. And at the time that they reached out, $2,200 for the deliverables they were requesting was within my usual rates. I would normally accept that from a brand. And so when they reached out with that, I know, because I've been doing this a while, I've been doing this for years, I know that a brand's first offer is never going to be their highest offer. So I got back and I said, again, letting them know why you're excited, why it would be a good fit. This would be such a perfect fit for my community of exotic pet lovers. I had a look at the brief. Everything looks fantastic. It definitely aligns with my style of content. So reiterating why they should be working with you, and then expressing your concern, building your case, and saying your rate. And so my only concern is because of the amount of partnership requests I receive, I have to be selective about who I work with so that I don't overwhelm my community with sponsored content. And at the time, I really wasn't doing a ton of sponsored content, but this little script here I found works pretty well to build your case. And so the rate mentioned is a little lower than my usual rates. Would the brand be willing to meet me at around 4 or 5? And they got back and said that the budget for this campaign is $3,275. So again, I added another $1,000 just like that, just from going that back and forth and asking. So always know that a brand's first offer is never going to be their highest offer. Now, this one, I'm sure a lot of you can relate with. How many of you, let me know in the chat, how many of you have been reached out by a brand or pitched to a brand, and then they came back with the glorious affiliate program that they have that they think you would be perfect to join? I'm sure so many of you can relate to this because it happens to me all the time. But today I'm going to show you how you can negotiate that into a paid collaboration. And so this is a brand that I pitched to. You can see my little pitch there at the top. And they got back and they said, wow, we think you would be a perfect fit for our affiliate program. Let me give you some more details. So exciting. Da, 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 da. Meanwhile, I'm just thinking like, oh, good God, I can't work for free or for 10% of what I make you. So anyway, they offered their affiliate program and then I got back. And again, reiterating why this would be a great fit. And this right here, let me guys give you like the little cherry on top that you can give to brands is sending an example or listing out the ideas that you have for the content, making it visual for them. They can see what it's like to work with you. So in this negotiation, I said, We'll go back here. They said our goal would to be have a killer first video. So raise your hand if you've ever had a brand say, we want to test this out and see how your first video performs, and then maybe we'll reach out for a long term partnership afterwards. If this has happened to any of you, let me just save you some time. They just want usually someone to work for free, and then they'll never reach out again for a long-term partnership. That's happened to me so many times. So anyway, they say our goal would be a killer first video. So then in my email response, I say, if a killer first video is what you're looking for, then you're in the right place. I can imagine something similar to this style of content. And I linked a video of Fig, my tortoise. I don't know how many of you are familiar with my pet page, but my little tortoise, I give him a little voice and a personality, and that's kind of the style of content that I was going to do for this brand. And so being able to link that and give them examples and make it visual for them to be able to see, what you can do for them is going to make it so much more real for them, and even, make you stand out and show your worth and why you should be getting paid. So I did that. And then I said, do you have a budget for a hybrid model? This is where I earn a commission and a flat fee for the video and 6-month licensing. Typically, my fee for this is much higher, but considering the cost of the device, which the device is this brand, I think it was like $1,500 for the device, which sometimes I do consider that when I'm giving my rate to a brand. But anyway, I'd be happy to work in the ballpark of $2,000. And then I also down here at the bottom, I wanted to mention that I had a similar device from a different brand. And so I let them know that when I share that in the back of my stories, or when I share that in my stories, I'm constantly getting asked about it. And then I let them know that their device actually, looks much better. It's a much better device. And so I know it's going to perform well. If you can come back and you let the brand know, my audience is absolutely going to be interested in this. And here's why. Here's the proof. Again, building your case, you're going to have a much stronger chance of actually getting the rates that you are asking for. And so they got back and they asked for my audience demographics and the geographic location of my audience. I sent that and they said, great, let's do it. So that's how I turned an affiliate offer, no money, whatsoever besides just an affiliate program, to a $2,000 a partnership. So that's how you guys can do that. I also wanted to go over some common examples that I've heard of and that I've had to deal with as well is brands not paying late. How many of you guys are tired of net 30, or even I have one brand that I work with that's net 60. And for those of you who are with us that are beginners, net 30 means that the brand doesn't pay you until 30 days after your collaboration. Net 60 means they don't pay you until 60 days after the collaboration, which I think that is so insane. And what other world do people get paid that late for their service? It's crazy. But anyway, something that people do have trouble with sometimes is brands not paying, or they forget to pay. And so that's something I want to go over today as well. And so the first and foremost thing that you should do is just follow up with them. A lot of times it's an internal issue. And if you just send a follow-up, most times they, should send the payment within the next week or 2 weeks or whatever. And if they still aren't responding, they still aren't, paying you, this is a little bit more of a serious tone that you can send to them. And it kind of like really, professionally but sternly is like, look, y'all need to pay up or else. So I'll just read this here. I'm just going to read some of the main points. So again, emphasizing how much I enjoyed working with the brand, kind of buttering them up a little bit. That never hurt anyone. However, the delay in payment is causing me some concern. Timely compensation is essential for content creators like myself to sustain our work and to continue to promote the brands we believe in. It also reflects the professionalism and reliability of a brand, which I've always held in high regard. So you're kind of holding them accountable there a little bit. You're being like, look, if you want to come across as a professional and reliable brand, which what brand wouldn't, then you need to pay me on time. I kindly request that you look into this matter as soon as possible and process the payment for the collaboration. And then I like to reiterate what the amount was and what the agreed upon set amount of time was as well. So the agreed upon amount was $6,500, and it was to be paid within 30 days of the project completion. To facilitate this process, please find an attached copy of our signed agreement. Now, this is where you're kind of taking it a little bit farther. You're attaching the agreement again, saying, look, this is the signed agreement that we have. I'm attaching it here for you to see, pay up. And so I also just wanted to say, this has never happened to me where a brand hasn't paid at all. I have heard it happen to like 1 or 2 content creators before. Thankfully, it's never happened to me. I've only ever had to send these 2 messages and a handful of times. With the amount of brand collabs I do, it really doesn't happen that often. So I'm not trying to like scare you guys into thinking like, oh, brands never pay. Like this has happened just, less than the fingers on my hand, the amount of times. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, it doesn't happen that often, but here's what you can do if you do have a brand that isn't paying you at all. So first, contact the brand. Second, follow up. Third, resend the invoice. So that would be like the email that I just showed you guys. Number 4 is seeking legal advice. So if it reaches that point and a brand just is not paying you, it would be in your best interest to contact a lawyer who is familiar in this area, and potentially, depending on the amount that it is, do a mediation or a small claims court, or you can publicize the issue. And I don't know if you guys have kept up with my recent online activity, but I recently had to publicize an influencer who was taking my ebooks and selling them to her followers. I tried to do everything behind the scenes. I hired a lawyer. I tried to do everything without having to expose her, but she wasn't listening, ignored our cease and desist letter and everything like that. And so I publicized it, and within like 3 hours, she took everything down. She stopped doing it. And so, yeah. So when you publicize the issue and you make it public, I think that really is going to set a fire under the brand's ass. Excuse my French, but yeah. So I think, yeah. Okay. So the last thing that the last scenario that I want to go to is if you feel like you're doing all the right things and you're asking for higher payments and you're asking for rates, you're asking to be paid, and you're still not getting anything, ask the brands why. Ask them why they decided to not go with you. Ask them why they aren't willing to pay you more. And here is kind of a template that you guys can use for this. So I hope this email finds you well. I wanted to reach out and extend my gratitude for considering the opportunity to collaborate with me. And again, anytime you can butter up a brand, they're going to love it. It never hurt anybody to add a little sweetness in there and just, express how excited you are and all that good stuff. So, however, I recently received the news that my collaboration proposal was not accepted. I completely respect your team's judgment, and I understand not every partnership aligns perfectly with the brand's goals and values. Nevertheless, I am keen to gain insights into the reasons behind this decision, as it will help me to better understand your expectations and improve my approach for future opportunities. And then, down here asking, I was hoping you could provide me with some feedback on why my proposal did not meet your requirements. Understanding the specific areas that fell short of your expectations will allow me to refine my approach, address any concerns, and potentially present a more tailored proposal in the future. So already you're opening the doors to reach out and, potentially work with them again in the future. I'm putting that idea out there. And so if you, like I said, are struggling to get brands to agree to your rates, to get brands to agree to pay you, or to even work with you, ask them why. Do some trial and error, figure out what it is about your profile, and then go in and try to fix those things. Let's say they say that your target audience doesn't match their target demographics. Let's say you're a US based creator, but you spent the last 6 months in Bali, and now your audience is 70% Balinese, Indonesian people. And so the brands, they saw that and they say, well, we want you to have a higher US based audience. Then you can go in and you can start working on that and start, building that thing up. You know what the issue is, and now it's time to go in and fix it. So that's really going to help you be able to ask those high rates, be able to get what you're worth and get paid to do those things. And the last thing that I want to show you guys, and I am so excited to show you guys, and I hope that you guys are just as excited as me, because this has literally been life-changing. Now, I'm sure you guys have heard of ChatGTP, right? I'm sure you have heard of this incredible AI. Let me just share my screen with you guys real quick. But I have been using ChatGTP to negotiate for me, to literally negotiate with the brands that I work with. And when I tell you, this thing spits out the most well articulated, professional, and amazing negotiations for any single negotiation scenario that comes up. It's incredible. So I'm going to show you guys how I use this and how you can use this to put together a beautifully crafted negotiation email for a brand for any example that you can think of. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. Let me know if you guys can see my screen again. Let me know in the chats if you can see my screen. And I'm going to go over here to ChatGTP. And so I have a couple examples that I want to, walk through with you guys and show you how I've used this to negotiate with brands. And I have my other laptop over here with the examples written down that I wanted to do. But let's do, let's say there's an airline who reached out to you. They're offering you a free flight in exchange for some content, but obviously you want to get paid, right? That's our goal on here. We love money. We love to get paid. We love to get paid for the work that we do. Am I right? So what I would type in is, write me an email explaining my worth and asking for payment as a travel influencer to an airline that is offering a free flight in. Sorry if I'm slowly typing here. Okay. Write me an email explaining my worth, asking for a payment as a travel influencer to an airline that is offering a free flight in exchange for a sponsored post. And it's going to spit out this super long email. And I just want to let you guys know, brands don't want to sit here and read a novel. So I'm not going to copy and paste this entire email that they write, right? We're going to pick and choose pieces and put it together and make a small, short email that's right to the point. And is beautifully crafted. So and it also gives you subject lines to put, as the subject line in the emails that you send. Obviously, if this is in response to a brand, you would just keep it in the same thread and you don't need a subject line. But it is very helpful for pitching and different things like that. So we're going to take here, Dear Airline's name. So we're obviously going to keep that. I hope this email finds you well. I'm expressing my enthusiasm for the opportunity to collaborate, blah, blah, blah. So I definitely want to keep all this stuff. And I'm going to come over here to my notes. And this is where I would actually, write out the email, make it how I want it, and then I'll copy and paste this into my actual email. And so here they spit out a couple examples, and you can pick what, pertains to you and your profile, but they have engaged audience. I've spent several years cultivating a highly engaged audience. Quality content. They have previous collaborations, professionalism, and storytelling abilities. So I like this engaged audience section here. I think that applies well for mine. And I also like the quality content. We're going to keep both of those in there. So I come over here. I'm going to fix these up. So let's say it's Delta. I would love to work with Delta. I hope this email finds you well. I'm writing to express my enthusiasm for the opportunity to collaborate with Delta on an upcoming travel campaign. I truly appreciate the offer of a free flight in exchange for a sponsored post, and I believe this partnership could be mutually beneficial. So right there, you're telling them, I think this could be a little bit better. I want to take a moment and highlight my qualifications as a travel influencer and the value I can bring to your airline through our collaboration. And then we have I spent engaged audience. I've spent years cultivating a highly engaged and niche, getting all mixed up in my words, and a niche specific audience on my social media platforms, including Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. I only have Instagram and TikTok. I'm going to fix that. Period. My followers are genuinely interested in travel, adventure, and exploring new destinations. This offers a unique opportunity to showcase Delta to a targeted and receptive audience. Love that. See, ChatGTP is literally incredible. I would never would have thought of that. And then quality content. I take pride in the quality of my content. I consistently create visually appealing and informative travel content that resonates with my audience. My style of content aligns seamlessly with the aesthetics and messaging that Delta seeks to promote. Again, beautifully crafted email. So we're going to scroll down here to the bottom and see what else ChatGTP spit out for us. So given the potential reach and impact of our collaboration, I kindly request that we revisit the compensation aspect of this partnership. How professional is that? Right there. Pay me, pay up. Y'all need to pay up. That's what this is saying in the most professional tone that I could ever imagine. While I understand the value of a complimentary flight, the time, effort, and creative expertise that goes into creating compelling content should also be considered. I propose discussing a reasonable payment that reflects the value I can bring to Delta through my influence and content. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. We're going to come over here and I'm going to take out we already say I kindly request that we revisit the compensation aspect. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out here. And then down here is where you can either give your rate or leave it open to the brand to see what their budget is for this. Sometimes the brands will surprise you and have a higher budget than we even expect, or higher budget than our rates are. It's honestly up to you. I feel like either way, you can't go wrong when you're asking for payment, but you can either give them your rate after this point, or leave it open to them and ask for their budget, or if they have a budget. And then I'll take this part down here. So like I said here, if you want, you can ask if they have a budget. For this one, I'll just say my typical rate for the deliverables requested is $3,500. Please let me know if this works for you. Thank you for considering my request, and I look forward to the possibility of working together to create a memorable and impactful campaign. Warm regards, Chess. So this is what I would copy and paste and send to the email. How easy peasy breezy lemon squeezy is that? So cool. I also wanted to share another example real quick. My roommate, Nikki, and she's also in this little event. Nikki, if you're listening, say hi in the chat. She went through this scenario the other day, and we went to ChatGTP and got it all sorted, bam, bam, just like that. So what happened was the brand had paid her via PayPal. And if you get paid via PayPal, PayPal usually will take out a fee. You should always, always, always make the brand cover the fee. If you agree to a certain amount of money with the brand, you should be getting paid that amount of money. it's not fair to you to take on the fee, especially when your payments start getting higher and higher. That fee is obviously going to get larger and larger. And so you always need to have the brands cover the fee. Usually I'll just include this in the invoice that I send to them if they're paying via PayPal. But this is what we typed into ChatGTP, and this is what we sent. So this is how I would get ChatGTP to write this out for me. So a brand already paid me, a content creator, but didn't cover the PayPal fee. Write an email asking the brand to pay again, covering the PayPal fee. And then ChatGTP is going to say, no problem. Let me spit out this beautifully crafted negotiation for you. And so we have here, I hope this email finds you well. I wanted to reach out and discuss a minor issue related to the recent payment I received for our collaboration. Firstly, I want to express my gratitude. Again, you guys notice how reiterating your excitement, buttering them up, and yeah, like doing that stuff is really beneficial for your negotiations. Do you guys see how that works and how it makes it all the more better? Even ChatGTP thinks so. So firstly, I want to express my gratitude for the opportunity to work together. It was truly a fantastic experience. However, when I received the payment through PayPal, I noticed that the PayPal processing fee was deducted from the total amount. I understand that this might not have been an oversight, I understand that this might have been an oversight, but I would kindly request reimbursement for the PayPal fee, which amounted to the specific amount. I believe that reimbursing the PayPal fee, we can ensure that the financial aspect of our collaboration is entirely settled and that both parties are content with the outcome. This will also help me avoid any unexpected financial implications on my end. I would probably take that paragraph out. But yeah, please let me know if this request is feasible. And if so, I'd appreciate if you could arrange for the reimbursement to be made to my PayPal account. And again, linking how they can pay you. But yeah, like this makes negotiating with brands so easy. You can have a professional and confident negotiation every single time. You just need to tell ChatGTP that you're a content creator and who to write the email to and why. And this will spit out, I'm not even kidding, the most beautiful emails that you guys have ever seen. So I am super excited to have been able to share this with you guys. Don't sleep on ChatGTP. Don't sleep on this tip because this is going to be life-changing for you. You can use it for any single brand negotiation that comes up, any single scenario that comes up. Let's say a brand uses your photo without permission. You can have ChatGTP write up a direct message to send to the brand asking for compensation for their resharing your photo, or what you can do what you can do, period. Like what you can do in order to get them to take the photo down or pay you or anything like that. Like ChatGTP is truly amazing. And I definitely recommend using it for your negotiations, for pitching to brands, and all that good stuff. It's incredible. And then, all right, so Ian is also now going to get into a little bit of his different negotiation scenarios with YouTube. And again, these tips, remember guys, this is applicable to both Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Even though Ian is specifically YouTube creator and I am specifically an Instagram creator, the things that we're sharing, it's all the same world. It's all social media. It's all working with brands. And the things that we shared today are universal for both platforms, or for all three platforms if you're including TikTok as well. So I'll go ahead and add Ian back on. And Ian, if you want to take over.
Yes, that was amazing, Chas. So I am seeing a lot of people very nervous about how many followers we have and why it's easier to negotiate. But where did we come from? I'm bringing back this slide right here with CaliCase. Remember, it took us 2 years or 1.5 years for brands to even start reaching out to us. So you always want to be reaching out to brands. People are asking how often. I say as often as it takes to get your brand deals. And at the beginning, remember I said track your own links. You need to do the work at the beginning to get your foot in the door and prove, just like CaliCase. And just because we have a lot of followers now, we did the same route to get along the way. At Cali Case, our first deal was $200 for a full YouTube video. You know how, like, we started with that low of a price. We built our way up with Cali Case. Then we were getting 1,000. Then we're getting, just, you have to prove yourself. But everyone starts somewhere, and you need to start proving yourself in this industry. It's competitive, but you need to work hard. Any entrepreneur will say the same thing. You have to put in the work and get results. Yeah. Anna's over my shoulder. Yeah, you don't get anything for free in this world. You have to have a skill to get paid. Just like that ROI I brought at the beginning. Just because you won $1,000 doesn't mean you deserve it. You have to create the content or have really high quality photos that a brand could use on their website, or whatever content you're making. You need to be able to prove yourself. I'm going to give you a quick example before I go on with negotiations. My brother is in a totally different industry. He works for Merrill Lynch. He's a financial advisor, someone that takes care of other people's money. This is a very competitive place. And I asked him once, because he's become one of the best people at Merrill Lynch. This is a bank in the US. I asked him once, I said, maybe it's pretty similar what me and you do with negotiating. So I asked him once, what did you do when you first started out? And when he was at the beginning of his career, still does it to this day, really. But at the beginning of his career, he would call 100 different people a week. 100 different phone calls a week. That's a lot of phone calls every single day, going over a script. And guess what? How many no's he got? 100 no's. And then he started tweaking that his pitch. And then he got one yes. And from that one yes, he was able to prove himself and show that testimonial to his next client to take their money and make a commission off of it. But at the end of the day, one thing he did was always go over the top for a brand. Never just post. If you do bad on the post, maybe put them in your story or try to get them more views or more conversions. Do whatever it takes to do well with one brand, just like we did with Cali Case. Then use that Cali Case or whatever brand you do, use that testimonial, that data to go on to the next brand or your dream brand that you want to work with. So another little thing my brother did with that 100 calls a week, at the end of each call, he said, I'm going to go on with my negotiation, because that's not a plan. But it does take a lot of work and effort to get those first deals. I mean, look, we start with $200. We only had a couple thousand subscribers. That's what you have to do to put in the work, become unique, have a skill. So I'm going to go back real quick to right here. So a lot of you probably saw this maybe in our stories, but we turned one video with a brand into a 6-figure yearly contract. So this is really insane, because 6 figures with one brand, I mean, that's enough for us to just not have to reach out to any brand anymore and just work with them year round. But of course, it's always good to keep working, getting different streams of revenue, because you don't know when that one brand's going to fail you in the future. But this is Get Your Guide, as mentioned in our call. So this is before we set up our long-term partnership. As I mentioned in our call, I absolutely not against a longer commitment, but since we don't have a success case yet, it's hard for me to justify spending the budget. Ideally, we start with our Paris video, and then depending on the KPIs, key performance metrics, key performance impressions, I think, we move to a longer commitment. So basically, they just wanted to see how we did with that Best of Paris video. And yes, they did pay us to create the content. Never work for free. To create the content, travel expenses, editing, all that takes time. And with Get Your Guide, we don't make them pay for all our travel expenses, because we're just traveling full time. So we're in different regions. So that's just a part of the game. Sometimes brands will not pay for that travel expense. Way, it's now almost at 1 million views. I know it says 590,000 there, but with that one video, it just took that one video to solidify a 6-figure deal. And with that comes commissions, different opportunities. When you are good with a brand, you do well for them. Not only are we doing videos on YouTube with them, now we're in Instagram stories, Instagram posts. We just taught a webinar with them. They want to buy our stock footage on these trips. There's so many streams from just one brand you could work with. And like I said, stop expecting money and anything from brands when you aren't proving yourself. If you're at the beginning with 100 followers, 1,000 followers, what can you give this brand? I saw some professional photographers in there. That's a whole different niche than us, but they're still making money from hotels or other companies because of their work. Their work speaks for itself. They could post on their website. They could repost to their socials. They could use it in commercials, whatever. So you need to find your skill. Ours is YouTube. What's up, man?
No, I wanted to say sometimes your skill doesn't have to be as crazy as you think. Like sometimes it can just be you're really good at talking to the camera.
Yes, and sometimes your skill doesn't have to be as insane right away. It's just maybe you're really good at talking on camera, keeping people engaged, and that's really great for UGC, user generated content, something the brand could use to promote on their end or post on their end. So there's so many different routes to go. You just need to find your leverage, and I think that's the biggest excuse from every single one of you out there. You need to figure out what you're good at and get better at it over time. Just like we did. Came from Cali Case, which was $200 all the way to a 6-figure deal. How many of you can do this? I think all of you can. It just takes time and a lot of effort. So I want to talk about this one, free product to a long-term deal. You might even guess what brand it is, but a brand sent us a free product. I said, I don't even want to negotiate right now. I'm just going to prove myself like I always do. Even though I should get money, I actually just did want to use the product and see how I liked it before setting up a long-term deal. We absolutely killed it for them. And this is what they sent to me after seeing how well we did. They said, how are you? I hope all is well. I appreciate your understanding while I get back to you. Things are finally starting to slow down. That doesn't matter. Then she said, how have you guys been liking the product? Our team recently came across your viral edit from Switzerland, and we were wondering if we could possible to collect it so we can reshare and tag you guys on socials. As you saw, you should be getting paid. Sorry, you should be getting paid for them to even repost your content. But also they wanted to take it from us and repost it on their own account. So you should be getting paid for that. So instead I said, we're loving your product. Unfortunately, I can't allow you to post it on your socials unless we come up with a future partnership together. Like I said on our call a couple months ago, we want a long-term partnership with you because I can guarantee we will kill it. We actually had 3 Instagram reels that went viral and got insane numbers, even tagging them in a couple just to be nice. And we got 25 million views, 520,000 likes. These are huge numbers I sent back. And they said they came back, and now we're working on a long-term partnership together because of those views. See, we just did something for free, but we turned it into a long-term deal because we just proved ourselves with the amount of views we got, the quality of our content, and that stuff takes time. Chas will tell you guys about something at the end that could really help you with your content. So she said, I'm so glad to hear you guys have been loving the product. Understand your reasoning for wanting to officially partner up. I agree that we can make some truly insane content together. With that being said, I'd love to work together to come up with an initial deal to test the waters for a long-term partnership. What do you think? So we're going to come up with, I call it a triple threat, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. We're going to come together on a big deal on those and really go all in and see which one does best with us. And I'm guessing it's going to be YouTube to make conversions for them. But it's nice to see that you could package all of these up if you do end up growing a community on each and every one. I always say start with one and grow a great community and then work on the others later. So I'm instead of just showing you more emails, actually, I'm going to show you my pitch. This is my pitch, and this is going to be different for every single one of you. Everyone's unique. But this is a 5-star hotel here in Dubrovnik that we're staying with tomorrow night. So this is really recent. Hey, Starry Grad team, we are Ian and Anna, travel YouTubers from the United States. In September, we are visiting Dubrovnik to make a high-ranking YouTube video. We'll be highlighting all the best experience, hidden gems, food. Tell them what you're wanting to come to do. Let's say you're a photographer. We are Ian and Anna, professional photographers from the U.S. In September, we're visiting Dubrovnik, and we'd love to shoot some photos that you could use on your website or for promotions. The location, then you got to tell them why you're picking them. The location of your hotel is perfect, but even better, it's pet friendly. We rescued 2 cats, and they are now traveling with us around Europe in our van. There's that unique idea. You're just not just 2 YouTubers coming along. You're saying that they're one of the only pet friendly hotels in Dubrovnik. We're going to bring that aspect to them. And then we go into our past testimonials. When it comes to partnerships, we're all about results. In the past 12 months, we have generated over $580,000 with our long-term sponsor, Get Your Guide. If I was just starting out, same thing with Cali Case, our first year and a half, I would say we have this conversion rate with this phone case. We know we could do it for your hotel / product and go from there. Use whatever leverage you can and just kind of go along from there. I attached our analytics for proof. The reason that's just going into the data and why the numbers are the numbers. And then we also have an amazing community on Instagram because you want to show them that you have other spots. Maybe they're not focusing on YouTube. Maybe they're focusing on Instagram or TikTok. really show them where your community lies, what you do best, but also throw that in there. Like, we'll put you in some stories if we come up with a deal. Our high ranking YouTube videos, we kind of put them right here. Let me know if you'd like to jump on a quick Zoom call, because I'd rather go show them a screen share of what we do best. There's our YouTube videos. Here's a screenshot of our Get Your Guide results. And this is what we do for hotels. Now, hotels are some of the hardest people to work with, to land. Chas has a great ebook on that. But hotels have so many creators because everyone just looks to hotels and thinks that's like the holy grail of travel. It's going to cut costs. Some hotels might pay you. It's going to be very rare, especially if we're not getting paid that often. It's going to be harder for somebody to get paid. I would look at hotels to see if you could just get free night stay to take care of your travel expenses. Stop looking to hotels if you're just not a hotel creator. I say if you're hotel specific, kind of like a photographer, or you do hotel reviews on YouTube or Instagram, you're better set up to land those hotel deals and actually make money from the hotels. But if you're making content about cooking, let's say, and you're trying to reach out to a hotel for stay for free, they're like, what is in it for us? Even if you do have a big audience, your audience doesn't care about the hotels. You have to really think about that stuff. And that's the same with tourism boards. We make travel guides, so we're able to reach out to tourism boards. Some people don't make travel guides. They just show their vlogs and their personal stories. That's not going to convert that well. Let's get back to how we turned $30,000 deal into a $54,000 deal. You don't have to think about it, these big numbers as you grow. They could be like you. How many of you would love to learn a pitch right now? I'm not going to go on until you give me some big yeses. I'm going to go through my whole pitch in 15 minutes before we end real quick. And this is what landed me $24,000 potentially. We just had this meeting on Friday. Anyone want to know how we land bigger deals? I'm going to wait till we get some yeses to move on. So first things first, like I said, I just showed you my pitch. It's similar for all brands. Anna, can you throw a target on my... Yeah.
Real quick, I'm not sure if your slides are moving.
Oh.
What slide are you on?
I'm on 68.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Yep. I think it should be good. I just saw a couple comments saying that they didn't see the last slide, so I was just making sure it's in there.
Sorry, I wasn't going along with my slides. I was kind of just showing you my pitch. Oh shoot. Okay. Let me present real quick. I forgot to share my screen. Give me 1 sec. I just want to show you my pitch real quick.
Oh, okay. Yep. That's
sorry about that. So here it is. Can you see my screen, everyone?
Give me 1 second. I'll add it.
All right, there's my screen.
Yeah.
So this is the email that I sent to the 5-star hotel. I'm going to run through it real quick. Hey, Star Grad team, you guys can rewatch this whole webinar later just to pause it on here. But this is the exact script we used to stay for 4 nights in a 5-star hotel. We aren't looking for money from them. We just wanted to be able to land it fast because it's really last minute for us. But if you look, we're Ian and Anna, travel YouTubers from the United States. In September, we were visiting Dubrovnik to make a high-ranking YouTube video. Like I said, whatever your leverage is there, say it right away. I'm a photographer. I do UGC content that gets this many views or is really engaging. The location of your hotel is perfect, but even better, it's pet-friendly. We rescued cats, and now we're traveling with us around Europe in our van. This is where you're showing a unique idea. Like I brought up, brands and hotels, people want unique ideas, no trends. And this is our unique idea. They're one of the only pet-friendly hotels in Dubrovnik. So we use that as leverage to land a deal. And that's actually what landed us the deal. It was a unique idea. They're like, oh my gosh, bring the kittens. It's so cute. But when it comes to all of our testimonials and our data backed it up, and that's what I share down here with Get Your Guide results. We just link some of our high-ranking YouTube videos. And like I said, if you have other platforms that can help solidify that deal, throw them in there. But like I said, come back to this email. This is what we use for all our emails. We just switch it up a little bit. Find your leverage. Let's get back to the slides. Sorry about that. Okay, stop screen. Okay, am I back on the slides? I'm guessing. Okay, so can everyone see turning a $30,000 deal into a $54,000 deal in 15 minutes? And you see that on your side? Okay, perfect. All right, so Yep. Okay. I like everyone in the chat. There we go. We need some energy. So it's been a long time, but let's see this. This is my pitch. This is what I just did on Friday, 2 days ago, to get $24,000 on the table. So I create a slideshow. So the slides I have next are specifically for that brand. This is why hop on a phone call, try to get on a phone call, bring some slides with you and show them exactly what you can do. These are going to be different, but go off of these slides. I only have 4 slides, and that's all it took to get $24,000 more dollars. So first, I'm like, this is with, just so you know, I'm not going to say the brand. Just so first I say all our content is evergreen. That's evergreen because on YouTube, the shelf life, like I showed you, stays relevant for 3, 4, 5 years. So this is very important for brands, especially looking for long-term sales and conversions or even website clicks. So evergreen content is content that remains relevant regardless of how much time passes. Our content will do well and sometimes even better after 250 days, depending on the location/topic. Now, this is going to scare some brands, but if you're able to show them on YouTube at the beginning, when we were only at like 10,000 subscribers, 5,000 subscribers, it took months for our videos to start ranking. But also, even if it's not SEO, it took time to get in the algorithm and start recommending. And this is something you just have to explain to brands. Brands don't know anything about social media. I like to consider YouTube like wine. It gets better over time. And that is why it's such an amazing product for brands that want to work with you long term. This means brands pay upfront for value and creation of the video and can reap benefits for 3+ years. Not only is our searchable content evergreen, but the viral videos that we don't go off of search sometimes do way better. And I'm just going to tell you, this is the solar panel company that just reached out to us, and they wanted to do a one-off. Then we got them into a $30,000 deal, and then we got them to a $54,000 deal because of this pitch. So solar panels, when you're showing a company a presentation, it should be garnered towards them. So if it was a GoPro, if I was reaching out to GoPro, I would show them CaliCase because it's an underwater phone case and it shows that we can convert. Then I'd show that conversion stuff to GoPro because it makes sense for them. But for this one, we worked with a van company in California about a year and a half ago called TrueVan. And we only had 100,000 followers at the time. So these are the 2 videos we made them, and they both did really well. 270,000 views on the first one. That was more a viral idea. And then the Yosemite one's more search engine optimization. That's if you look up Yosemite on YouTube, that will either be in some of the top results or in suggested videos right away. So we did really, I said, these are the videos we're making. Remember what I said, the OptiVault. I said, we're making a $70,000 van tour of our current van. And then I said, we're going to go after Dolomites. Instead of Yosemite, it's Dolomites. So those are the 2 ideas we brought to the table, and it's showing them the results right there and then. And then this is a testimonial from TrueVan. Man, your guys' video changed the direction of our company. Thanks so much for your support. The difference is night and day. We took them, this is exactly what I said to the OptiVault brand. I said, we took them from a 2-person company to a now 20-person company in 1 year, just from our content alone. And I know that sounds crazy, like you can't do it, but each and every one of you can do something smaller and build up to this over time. That's what you're missing. So something really cool is down here, Tom Felton, if you guys know Draco Malfoy, based off of our $200,000 van tour video you see right there, reached out to TrueVan to buy a van and wanted to try it out. I mean, is that not the coolest thing? I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, and when TrueVan sent me this, I was like, oh my gosh. So, yeah, so I felt really cool, and I brought this into the presentation with OptiVault because maybe they're Harry Potter fans. It's definitely a big name. He has 11 million followers, someone that wants to buy a $200,000 product. There's no way these solar panels are even more than $200. I can sell. And this is where I show that a CaliCase again. Even though it's a $30 product, it shows the conversion rate really well it goes well with our brand. The solar panel is perfect for van life. It goes well with our brand. We're going to do similar or just as good results for them. Conversion rates, sales. And then we brought in this. This is what really made their jaw drop. And I'm saying, I know, but you guys are scared that you don't have these testimonials. Build up with just that one, like a CaliCase, and move on from there. But we made Get Your Guide $625,000 in 1 year, which is out of this world. And that means we got a $50,000 commission from it. That is from people booking tours through our YouTube video alone. Not Instagram, not TikTok, only long form YouTube videos. And that's the power of making conversions when you match with a brand that's perfect for you. We travel the world. We're always looking to do cool stuff. Our audience wants to see the best things to do in areas. Get Your Guide gives the best tours, experiences in those areas. We match perfectly, and you can see the results on this screen right now. We want to match perfectly with you, OptiVolt, and we want to do the same thing. And then remember those ideas. So I gave them this whole PowerPoint. I showed them all these stats, how perfect we are for them. And then I gave them the unique ideas, each and every one. I went through it and I said, this is going to work because that $200,000 van tour worked, and van tour videos do well on YouTube. 3 kittens in 1 van, very unique idea. I've seen 4 people in 1 van do really well, but who doesn't want to see 3 kittens living in a van? We're going to go over why the solar panels are going to work for us. So after this, we gave them this. This is our new performance bonus metric. This is how it turned from $30,000 into $54,000. I know the performance bonus, we have to hit 300,000 views on each of these videos, but we're at a point in our career where we know when a video is going to hit that threshold, especially within a year. I think we have a good chance of hitting each one at 300,000 views within a year, whether that's the Dolomites one or the 3 kittens in 1 van. And it goes all the way up to $6,000 per video. So there's 4 YouTube videos, and we only did this for long form. You could do this in short form, don't worry. But this is for long form. We did $300,000 or within 1 year. So whichever hits first or happens first. And they absolutely loved it because we're proving ourselves. If we get them 300,000 views on each one, they're going to be happy campers. It's going to lead to not only brand awareness, but website clicks. People are going to understand that they're the only product in the world right now that are going to that can do what they do. Also sales. Also, I told them, I even said, why not pay us to use some of our footage for your website or images or whatever we produce? This is how you mold a bigger deal for yourselves.
Someone's saying, I think this is a good question.
Yeah, what's the question?
I'll save it for the
Okay.
I'll save it, sorry.
But that's about it. I just want every single one of you to work on that one brand deal. It just takes one to totally change your life. And that Cali case changed our life. And I want to know, are you guys going to put in the work after this and go after brand deals, not be scared to ask the prices you deserve? I want some excitement because go after it. You can do this. Each and every single one of you can make big deals like this happen. Start small, move up slowly and surely, and you can do this. All right, Chas.
Thanks, Ian.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. We got some hell yeahs in the comments. Let's go. Super excited. So let me ask you guys a question. How many of you are feeling a bit like this photo right now? I know Ian and I just bombarded you with information, gave you so much to kind of go through and look at to help better yourselves. But I'm sure you're feeling like, there's so much. Maybe you have so many questions. Let me know if you guys are feeling a little bit like that right now. Give me some yeses or some nos if you're feeling like excited, but also, you know, a little overwhelmed with all the information, all the things that you need to do, how to even grow and all that good stuff. So because of that, because we knew that you guys would be feeling like this after we finished our little training session, we wanted to put together an incredibly special offer for you guys. And I wanted to ask your permission real quick. Do you guys mind if I take the next few minutes to tell you a little bit about our 0 to 6 figure content creator course and what is included with that? Definitely want to get your permission beforehand. So give me some answers in the comments. This is an incredibly special deal. This is a proven course that has built content creators from literal 0, you know, baby numbers, 2,000 followers to over 100,000 followers, the people who have taken this course and done this with us. So if you guys could, you know, have the opportunity to spend 10 days with us and learn from us how to go from 0 to 6 figures, how to grow, how to keep your audience engaged, how to monetize and make more money, would you be interested in learning more from us, learning everything that we have to offer? If so, I would love to talk a little bit about what is going to go in the special offer that we're going to get to at the end. So what you're going to get first and foremost is my travel collaboration trilogy. This is tours and board collaboration secrets, hotel collab secrets, and my pitching and negotiation scripts. All of these little mini guides are worth $75. And they give you, pitch scripts, what to expect in these collaborations, how to negotiate with these different brands and hotels and tourism boards and get paid to travel. And I wanted to share a few testimonials with you from these guides. So Christina in the Clouds says, I've reached out to hotels before using scripts from other Insta coaches and they haven't seemed to work, but this one has. How would you guys like to get a script that you know is going to work for the hotels that you pitch to, that you know is going to work? And then we have Grow Me Vegan said she went from only doing gifted collabs to making 400 pounds in 1 week from her account. And I want to also let you guys know this information is not just for US based creators. I've had creators all over the world have success with these guides. And so, someone getting one of my guides and going from only doing gifted collabs to making $400 in the first week after getting the guides, how incredible is that? That's like life-changing, right? And then Dave and Jost down there, we landed our first hotel collab thanks to your book. Used your scripts and it worked. Still in shock, super pinch me moment. And it was our first attempt. So I don't know how many of you guys have never reached out to a hotel before, but how amazing would it be? The very first pitch that you send out is a yes. Wouldn't that be incredible? So not only are you going to get the travel collaboration series worth $75, you're also obviously going to get the 0 to 6 figure content creator course. Now, this is incredible because we actually spent 10 days in Bali on a retreat with, I think like 10 to 12 creators, recorded all of the lessons for you guys and put it in this incredible video course. The students on this retreat paid $3,000 to be there. It has absolutely changed their lives. I'm going to get into some of the testimonials from the students who have attended this retreat. So Maddie, when she first came on this retreat, she had around 5,000 followers. And she said before the retreat, she felt like she was doing all the right things and still wasn't seeing significant growth. How many of you feel like that? You feel like you're doing all the right things and you're not growing? Raise your hand. Let me know in the comments if that feels like you, And then after, sharing our information and her attending the retreat, it took her 3 months to go from 5,000 followers to 40,000 followers. And then 2 months later, she grew over 100,000 followers. What would that mean to you guys if in 5 months you grew 100,000 followers? Like, wouldn't that be incredible? Another one is James and Kalia. Kalia just messaged this to us 3 days ago. She said, we hit 6 figures for the year. Guys, we aren't even we just surpassed halfway through the year and they already hit 6 figures and they only have 130,000 followers. She said in the past 2 days, we've locked in $38,000 with 3 brand deals. Guys, how incredible is that? What would that mean to you if you could make $40,000 from 3 brand deals? That is just incredible. So go Kalia, go Maddie, super stoked for them. And there's just a few more little testimonials that we have here. The information is not like the same information everyone gives out. We've taken other courses before, but I'm learning so much more with this course. I'm telling you guys, you just paid $10 to learn all of this information. Now imagine what you're going to get with every single piece of knowledge that we know on how to grow, how to better your content, how to become a 6-figure content creator. This information is not information that you can just look up in Google or figure out on your own. It's incredible stuff. We really poured our heart and souls into that. So not only are you going to get the travel collaboration trilogy worth $75, the 0 to 6 figure content creator course, which is worth $3,000, but I'm also going to include my Insta Secrets bundle, which is worth $200. Now, these books have changed so many lives. I'm so proud of them, and I'm so excited to share them with you. There's an Instagram growth book, a collab book, content book on how to better your content, and then a guide on building multiple streams of income as a content creator, which if you're trying to hit those big, big numbers, $500,000 a year, $1 million a year, building multiple streams of income is what is going to allow you to do that. How many of you would love to make $500,000 in a year? I know, yeah, just it's incredible. The potential here is so cool. So I also have a bunch of different testimonials that I really wanted to share with you guys just to show you that these things work. They're real. It's real information and it's life-changing. So we have Dennis and Gabby here. They first got my guide around 2,000 followers, and they said after just 1 day of applying the strategy, they grew over 500 followers. Now, guys, I've been looking at their page, and in a 6-month span in 2022, they went from 50K to 200K. They jumped up 150,000 followers. That is insane. Haley, from Where We Went Next, she had less than 100,000 followers, right? 90,000 followers. And she said that the guides helped her turn a $2,000 offer into an $11,000 partnership. Guys, what would it mean to you if you could make $11,000 from one partnership? If you could have the ability to turn $2,000 into an $11,000 partnerships, wouldn't that be amazing? Then we have Justin here, who at 30,000 followers was able to quit his job because of the guides. He has around 5 photography contracts a month, each paying around $1,800. And if you do the math, that's around $10,000 per month that he's making. That is so cool. And then another one here, Aubrey, this is also a recent testimonial. She said that the guides helped her negotiate a $2,500 a month partnership, which has allowed her to completely work from home. Guys, imagine, wouldn't you love to be able to quit your job and do content creation full time? Wouldn't that mean so much to you? And you can even see here, she says, I know when people see these review messages, it seems hard to picture on the other side. So how many of you right now are saying, I mean, that's great for them, but I just can't picture that for myself. I can't imagine that for myself. But I'm sure if you would have asked Aubrey a few months ago if she would have been able to quit her job and do content creation and social media full time, she also would have said no. So this information is truly life-changing. So again, you're going to get the travel collaboration trilogy worth $75. You're going to get the 0 to 6 figure course, which is $3,000. And you're also going to get my Instagram secrets bundle for a total of $3,272. Now, Ian and I, we think that this value is worth it. We're obviously not going to charge you guys that much at all. Okay, so this special offer is going to be incredible. But I want to ask you guys a question. All right, we look back to this offer, this $3,000 offer. If all this did was allow you to grow 50,000 to 100,000 followers, would it be worth it? Would it be worth that $3,000 investment? Let me know in the comments if you think it would be worth it. Would you pay $3,000 to know that you're going to make 50,000 to 100,000 followers and know how to grow and get to that point? Would it be worth it to you guys if you could replace your current income with content creation? If you could pay $3,000 and you know that you're going to get your current income replaced with content creation, would that be worth it to you? You're on your way to a 6-figure content creator. And if you were able to quit your job and become a full-time content creator, would it be worth it to you? And I'm so excited to let you guys know that we're not going to charge you $3,000. We're not going to do that to you. We're going to offer this for the next 10 days for only $250. Guys, that's like a 92% discount. That is insane for the value that you are going to get in this. It's going to be life-changing for so many of you, and I'm so excited to share this.
When Chas brought this up to me, I almost shit my pants. Because that's like, it took us 6 months to come up with that webinar course, just the 6-figure creator course, editing that, doing everything, but everything she's offering on top of that, it's going to change your life if you take it serious and you work hard. This is an insane deal. Just it kind of pissed me off how cheap it was, but Chas is giving a fair deal for everyone because I think it's going to be amazing for each and every single one of you.
Yep. You guys know one of my core values is affordability and value packed, over delivering for the amount that people spend on the products that I create. And that goes true for this. If you can become a 0 to 6 figure content creator, is that worth $250 to you? I would say yes, obviously. Like my whole goal in this is to be the person that I needed when I first started, and to be able to give you guys this information. It's so exciting for us. So if you guys scroll to the bottom of your screen, if you go back to my webpage, you can scroll to the bottom of my screen to go ahead and jump on this deal. We're going to give you a few minutes to go and do that now, so you don't forget. And then we're going to start.
Some people are asking what's in these courses, what's in everything. Within our creator course alone, this 0 to 6 figure creator course, it starts from basically 0. subscribers, 0 followers. It's all about creating content, how to even get bigger deals better. Even I cold call in there. I cold called hotels. There's so much valuable Photoshop, everything. We go into detail about how I edit, how Chas edits, how Anna edits. It's just so in depth. So that's the tip of the iceberg.
So we put together at the beginning of this, Ian and I, we both have built multi 6-figure businesses, and we put together a checklist on the exact steps that we took in order to get from the very beginning, 0 followers, 0 subscribers, the exact steps that we took. We put it down in a checklist, and on that checklist, each thing on the checklist has a lesson in our course. So you're truly getting a step-by-step guide on how to go from 0 to 6 figures, how to build your pages, how to engage your audience and build create quality content, how to edit your content. We have like posing and things like that in there, how to keep your audience engaged, keep growing. And then of course, we also get into the monetization aspect. There's tons of information on finding brands to work with, pitching to brands, setting your rates, which obviously you guys just learned that today, but it's also in there. Everything that you need to literally go from 0 to 6 figures is going to be in that course. And if you still have questions afterwards, our DMs are always open. To anyone who is our student, we don't mind answering questions. You also get access to a creator support group, so you can ask questions in there. But we are truly here to support you guys and help you succeed. That is why we're doing this. We want to create as many 6-figure content creators as we can. That's the most fulfilling thing to me in this business, and what I do on here is being able to help those other people, those testimonials that I get that have allowed people to quit their jobs and take content creation full time and live their dreams. That is what I'm here for. That's what I'm on this earth for, is to help other people live their dream life and do it. So you guys have 2 choices now. All right. The first option is you leave this web event, you take what you've learned. You probably have so many questions still. And you do nothing and you don't take this leap of faith with us. Maybe you want to try to do it on your own, which is totally possible, but it might take you 7 years. Like it's taken Ian and Anna 5 years. It's taken me 7 years to get to where I am, where we've put all of that information in an easy course for you. And you can be like our students who in 5 months grew 100,000 followers, who are making 6-figure years and everything like that, living your dream life. Or you can pony up the small investment today. The offer is available only for the next 10 days. So you can make this investment in yourself, take this leap of faith with us. And for the value that you guys are getting in return, like I'm telling you, you don't want to miss out on this. It is truly life-changing.
It's 10 years of experience. It's a 10-day full retreat. We just had 2 hours with you guys. Think about spending 10 days with us. I think you're going to learn more than enough. But yeah, this is really exciting for everyone.
Yeah, and we're huge believers, and if we can't make you money, then we don't deserve yours. And that's why affordability is such a huge core pillar of mine. I'm not in this to overcharge and underdeliver, you guys. I undercharge and overdeliver, and I'm sure you found that true with every single one of my products, and it holds true with this as well. So like I said, if you guys go over back to my webpage where you're watching the event, you can click on the link at the bottom of the page to jump on this offer, or it should be pinned at the top of the YouTube page through the lens. Let me pull up the slide here. Here we go. If you go to throughthelens.com/go, that's also where you can hop on this offer. And in that page, there's so much more information about what is actually included. There are little module things that tell you exactly what is in every module. Every lesson that you'll be learning is all on that page. There's also tons of more testimonials on there to prove to you guys that this is no BS. This is real information. This isn't stuff that you're going to find online for free or Google or anything like that. It's truly life-changing. And I'm so excited for everyone who's going to join us and become a 6-figure content creator. So I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to go check that out. Go ahead. Feel free to ask a few questions.
Yeah, let's get some questions rolling in.
I see a couple of testimonials here, even just in the comments. Kaylin said, I've made $5,500 from the books alone in the past 3 months. So since she got my, we'll go back here, I'm guessing the collaboration guide, she's already made $5,500 just from this book. And like I said, you guys, you're not just getting my books here. You're getting our 0 to 6 figure content creator course. You're getting the travel collaboration trilogy. All of this value worth $3,000 you're going to get for only $250, which is insane. Literally insane. So I think we are going to go ahead and start. Is it okay? Sorry, we have a couple questions here. Is it repetitive, the content from the bundle versus the 0 to 6 figure content creator course? I don't think it's repetitive at all. The ebooks are, PDF guides that you can read through in a day. They're about 80 pages each, but you can read through them in a day. Our content creator retreat course, like we said, it's 10 days worth of video lessons that we did in Bali. And it's not just Instagram. So my ebooks are just Instagram, where our course also goes over Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So it goes over the 3 platforms. And if you guys aren't fired up about YouTube already, like I'm telling you, every time I hear Ian talk about YouTube, I'm like, okay, I really need to start my YouTube, because in terms of like longevity and the evergreenness of YouTube, like the potential to make so much more money.
I always tell Chash she'd make the same amount, if not more. Like, it's just crazy than she is right now. So like adding that on top of the work she's doing, she'll probably end up doing it one day. But YouTube's disgusting how great the algorithm is long term. Also, YouTube has shorts now. It's the double whammy. And I think if you're good at shorts already, getting good at long form is great.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm going to put in the comments here again real quick where you guys can go jump on that deal. Like I said, it's only available for the next 10 days.
Chair, should we go ahead and start the Q&A?
Yes, guys. Thank you for staying to the end. Thank you for allowing us to be here, trusting in us to help you along this process. And we're going to go ahead and start getting into the live Q&A and answering some of your questions, whether it's about the products or about what you learned today or anything else. Feel free to ask. So I'm going to set my little timer here. Let me just share my screen.
Anna sent some of the questions too, which is good. Past questions that I'll try to look at and answer. But we got more questions rolling in. How do you find email contacts for the right people, like media managers, if they aren't listed on the website and you don't have a LinkedIn subscription? So I would just try to reach out to any contact on the website and get your name out there. If you can't find their emails, that means they don't want you to find it. So try to do whatever it takes to get a name, get anyone to respond to you, and go from there. Let's see. What have you found to be the best value proposition to explain why your rate is higher than the brand's budget? What do brands respond best to?
So for the working visa for another country, everyone's asking this. First, worry about getting the deal.
Sorry. I need to focus on one second. Oh. Do you charge less for a 750? All right, Chas, you take it over. I'm going to look at some questions, and then I'm going to think before I answer.
Well, I was going to answer a different question, actually. I don't know what you're
Go ahead. I'm going to look at the question.
Okay, so Caitlin had a question. Struggling to make an income through affiliate links. I get clicks, but no purchases. I have 2,500 followers. I've tried 20 plus different brands, products in my niche. What do I need to do differently? So I will say, when it comes to affiliate links, the potential to make a ton of money from affiliate links really isn't there unless you're doing something like Get Your Guide via YouTube, like Ann and Anna have talked about. But when it comes to Instagram, for example, my pet page, which has around like 670,000 followers, from the start of, I think I started doing affiliate marketing in March. of this year. So March 2023 until now, I've only made around $1,500 in affiliate links. And that's an account that has, 670,000 followers. There are a few tips and tricks that you guys can do to help prime your audience to get those clicks, which I'm going to go through in a second. But this is why I really, really recommend pitching that hybrid partnership model to brands when they offer you affiliate links. That way you're getting a flat commission or a flat fee on top of the commissions that you would receive from the affiliate links. And you guys will get access to the slides so you can kind of see how I did that again if you forget. No worries at all. But that is a big reason why I recommend pitching that dual model to brands. But anyway, some things that you can do to help get more link clicks is one, priming your audience to convert. And what this means is one, building trust with your audience. So showing more of your personality, showing more of your life, really getting to engage with your community and building that trust, because people, in order for people to buy from us, they have to first trust us. So if you're able to do that and build a stronger connection with your community, that will definitely help conversions. Another thing that you can do is priming your audience via sharing just value that doesn't necessarily cost anything. So something that I will do is share like free blog posts, free helpful blog posts or helpful sites or helpful tips and tricks or things that people can like click on from my stories. I'll share the link and I'll be like, oh, here's a link to my media kit that I made. If you guys want to check it out and see it, totally free. They don't have to pay anything, but just getting them to get in that habit of they see something that I share, they click on it, it builds their trust, and that's going to overall help your conversions when it comes to affiliate links and working with brands in that way. So I hope that.
Yeah, I'm going to add on to that. Sometimes the product or service is not what your audience wants or needs. Like I said at the beginning, CaliCase fit us, but Skillshare didn't. Skillshare is like a learning platform, and people looking up travel or following a travel account don't care about that. They care about experiences. So once you match with a perfect brand, you're going to start making more and more sales. Also, like Chas said, YouTube and blogging are the best way to make conversions on the internet today. So if you're into either of those platforms, long form videos always convert more than short form, because if someone's willing to spend time with you, hear about the product, see you want to experience, don't be too salesy. You're going to end up making more conversions in the long run.
Also, if you're sharing too many links.
Yeah. And if you're sharing, Anna just added, if you're sharing too many links, that's too many. Yeah, people are not going to want to buy from you. They're not going to trust you. If you're just putting links everywhere in every story, wanting people to buy your products or buy through you, they're not going to trust you if you're just always putting up links every day. Wait, I have one good one from Kendall. Where should I start when reaching out to brands? I feel like I struggle even knowing who to reach out to. So like I said, you need to figure out, first of all, I think a great way to do it is look at who's in your niche. And sometimes it's hard to figure out who's in your niche. But if you're a solo female traveler, look who they're working with and try to see if you'd be a good fit for that brand. If not, you know yourself and what you love. And if you're able to shine through your content on YouTube or any social media, people, that brand will be perfect for you. So reach out to them. Something you truly, truly love will be the best brand to work with. And wait, one sec, Chess. I'm going to elaborate on that too. So before, give me 1 second. So William Alexander, the only intimidating thing is reaching out to a big brand while being small, but it's not impossible. My biggest thing is don't always go after those big brand names. Like CaliCase, no one knew of that brand. Why not take an unknown brand and show it to the world and do well for them? You have a better chance landing those brand deals than you do these big companies that get thousands of emails every single day. Small brands still have marketing budgets. You can go ahead, Chas.
I was just going to answer another question. Where'd he go? Sorry, guys. Hudson and Emily asked, what have you found to be the best value propositions to explain why your rate is higher than the brand's budget? What do brands respond to best? Honestly, every brand's going to be different. And I definitely recommend just typing that into ChatGTP and seeing what it comes out with and choosing, what aligns best with your profile. As long as you can build your case point blank period, it's going to be beneficial to you. And the way that ChatGTP writes it out is flawless. It's beautiful. So guys, don't forget about that when you leave this. There's already somebody after I shared that in the chat who was like, I reached out to hotels and I don't know how to get past that point of payment. Guys, use Chat GTP to come up with what to say now. You have that tool, use it. It's incredible and it's literally going to change your life. You can use it for any scenario. And that was my answer to that question.
This is a really interesting one. I don't know if you have any comments, Chas, but our business is based in the U.S. and so is Chas's. But we work with companies around the world. We travel to places to make YouTube videos. And I know this is a touchy subject, but we don't have a work visa in any of these locations. Now, we've heard some people running into problems and getting like banned from certain cities if they don't have a permit to work there. But it's a rarity that you would ever get in trouble for this.
But we really only worked with like a Germany, like get your guys a German brand, and you're working in Dubai.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's like it's not like you're working for a Dubai company in Dubai. It can be really tough to prove if you're working or not.
Yes.
Right?
So this is a very gray area. Just to be as transparent as possible, we don't have any work visas. We've never had trouble. Even if you get asked, we just do YouTube for fun. That's all you got to say. Do you see any other questions? Which are the best ways to earn? No.
I had another question here from Meredith, and Ian, I don't know if you can touch on this as well, but she said, do you charge less for a 7 to 15 second video than a 60-second video with a voiceover? If so, how do you determine the difference in rate? So I definitely differentiate on the length of video, what it requires to make the video. For example, if I have to leave the house, I'm going on a hike to make a video and I have to use my camera, I'm going to charge a lot more than if I can stay at home, record something on my phone, and edit it, do it all in my phone. I'm going to charge a lot less for something like that. When it comes to knowing how to differentiate between that, for a lot of us, it's going to be something that we have to kind of go through and do trial and error. When it comes to video, there's so many different factors that go into the cost of it. The amount of time that you take to make the video, whether you're using professional gear, whether you're using professional editing softwares, or just on your phone on an app, the equipment you're using, your skill level, how long you've been doing this is all going to depend on your rate, is all going to affect your rate. And so and starting out, I always try to just say, set a rate that makes you feel good, something that you would be excited to get paid for, and you don't feel like you're undercutting yourself. Kind of find that medium where that you're not like, whoa, I could never get that rate, like ever in my wildest dreams. Find a number that you feel great about asking. And it might be something that over time you kind of like learn and figure out, what your actual rates are going to be. And it's going to be ever changing. My rates when I first started out are nothing to what they are today. And so, yeah. Ian, did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
For me, I think if you're at the beginning of your content creation journey, that's not the biggest difference in seconds. You need to focus on doing well for those brands. Don't nitpick every little thing at the beginning. I think a short form video is a short form video, but as you go on in your career, you can charge more and more for content. I just think everyone needs to get a foot in the door and do well for brands. You need to over deliver at the beginning of your career to get those testimonials to do well. Don't nitpick on seconds, do better for people, and then you can go from there. And of course, nowadays we make people sometimes pay for travel expenses. We do all sorts of upping prices for every expertise we have, how long our videos take to edit. But I have another good one. Katie and Logan asked, do brands like when you use more personality with your voice when pitching to them? I think so. And I did see this before. Using Chat GPT is great, but I think being more personal, like I said, I sent a video or a photo of our little kittens to the hotel, and that's what they bid on. They want to relate to people. They want to see your journey and they want to follow along afterwards. So be a person. Don't be like everyone else. And that's why I always get on a phone call, because this energy shines right through the brand and they're like, wow, you know what you're talking about. You have unique ideas. So I think personality shines through.
You can also in Chat GTP have add your personality in there. You can say, write me a friendly email, write me an excited email. You can kind of change those keywords and it'll change the tone of the email that it writes out, which I think is really cool. And you can, kind of add bits and pieces of your personality in there. Or like Ian said, send them a photo, send them a video. Definitely being more personable. Always, people connect to people. And so it's never a bad idea. I had a question here from someone. The only thing holding me back is money. Does the bundle have affiliate links that eventually make me spend more once I'm into the course? Absolutely not. It's a one-time payment to get all of this, all of our information. We'll never ask for more money from you guys. There's nothing in there that you need to purchase additionally to get any more information. It's all included for $250. It's all
on the table. I
Yeah.
literally, blood, sweat, and tears. I did as whatever. I gave everything, and Chas gave everything. Anna gave everything. So I see Hudson and Emily. They're asking, how do you get more brands reaching out to you? They have 200,000 followers, and I know this is crazy, but kind of depends on your niche or what you're posting. If you're all over the place, brands are confused on where you're posting from or like what your whole vibe is. If you're going from place to place and bouncing around, that's why it's taken a while for brands to consistently reach out to us because we're all over the place. When we were stayed in one country for longer, that's when hotels reach out. That's when brands reach out. When we stayed in the USA for 1 year and did that whole 6-month road trip, so many US brands reach out because they saw consistent US content. Same thing, and now it's happening over in Europe. We're based here for the next 2 years. So at the beginning, it's a little slow. Now more European companies are reaching out. Now more van life companies are reaching out because we're getting back into that niche. And it's hard flipping from niche to niche. But when you stick to one over a given period, and that's why I say some people staying in their city back in the U.S. make more money than we do, traveling all over the world because we go over that in our course, Anna said, too.
I wanted to hop on here and there's a comment from Anna that I couldn't answer about UGC.
UGC?
It's about, I'll just read it.
Yeah, so I think Chas is better versed on UGC. Anna's going to read the comment. I'll read it back to you, or the question.
Or you know what, I'll copy and paste it, Chas. And make
Okay.
It
Okay, I'm going to keep looking for questions.
did you see it?
Oh my God, Michaela, we're so happy that you're liking this webinar. This is what we love. You see our energy right now? Teaching is just so fun.
Chas, did you see it?
I don't think so. Anna, are you able to just hop on and read the question? I'm like staying on another question that I want to answer.
No, you're good. You know what? I screenshotted it. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm
When
going to.
you're first starting out and don't have a portfolio to show the brand, could you create UGC first and then ask the brand if they would pay you for it, or is this a bad practice?
No, I love that question. Such a good question. That is.
Can you reiterate it, Chas, for people that didn't hear it?
Yep. So the question was, if you don't have any experience working with brands, can you create content for the brand and use that to reach out and pitch to the brand, whether it's UGC or sponsored posts or anything like that? And to answer that question, absolutely, that's a wonderful way to get on a brand's radar. I would just suggest always watermarking your content before you send it to the brand. But my pitch and negotiation script booklet that you guys will get with this, the additional goodies that you guys get with this web event includes a script exactly that, pitching content that you've made for a brand that you haven't yet worked with. That's a wonderful idea. Definitely a great way to get on a brand's radar and land a deal with them for sure.
Katie and Logan asked about how we learned SEO on YouTube. We dive really deep in the 6-figure creator course, which is included in this deal. So I'm not going to go into that, but SEO is what sets us apart. And I think not a lot of creators are utilizing it in the travel niche. Everyone's posting as much as often. But in our course, we go over why that's not a good thing. You need to really focus in on SEO. And once you get it right, we took off 3 months from posting on YouTube and we were making the same amount of money. With ad revenue, with commission. Of course, our flat rates were low with brands because we weren't putting out new videos, but it's insane how the shelf life on YouTube keeps us on a such consistent income basis, but also it keeps us from going broke or anything. Like, this is consistent money coming in the bank, and it's all because of SEO. It's just like blogging on Google.
I wanted to say one more thing.
Sorry.
I'll show my face. Hi, everyone. No, I just wanted to comment and like I saw some questions about like YouTube and filming both, and yes, it's hard, and that's just like the answer that I always give. But it's like Ian said, we could take off 3 months of posting, and not every influencer can say that because they have to keep up more. So even though it's harder, I think it does pay off. And just don't be afraid to do something that's hard, because if you want it, you want it. Go get it.
There you
Okay,
go.
I'm out.
You weren't in.
I wasn't
No,
in.
but it's okay. All right.
Wait, I
So
didn't say anything?
no, you did. On my end. Okay. What other?
I got a couple questions here that say, where do I start when reaching out to brands? I feel like I struggle even knowing who to reach out to. There's another question that says, how to find relevant brands. This also, goes in depth in both of my collab ebook, and I think we do touch on it a little bit in the 0 to 6 figure creator course. But just to kind of give you a little insight to what you guys can do is there's 3 ways that I recommend finding brands to work with. And the first way is thinking of products that you already know, love, and use. You can literally work with, sunscreen, different snack brands that you love. You can work with shoes, hiking boots, backpacks, any products that you already use and love. Absolutely pitch to them and go to work with them. Another thing that you can do is see who other creators in your niche are working with. Anytime I come across a sponsored post from one of my fellow content creators, I will save that in a brands to pitch to folder on Instagram. So that obviously just shows you brands who are already working with content creators. And if you're, looking and saving these posts from creators that are within your niche, perfect, beautiful. And then the third way is using Instagram as a search engine to find these brands, different, like the actual brands to pitch to. So you can type in Instagram, you can search sunscreen, or even like organic sunscreen if you want to get more specific or more niched. And then go to the hashtag page. There will be tons and tons of different sunscreen brands all on that page, all ready for you to pitch to them. You can do this with hiking boots. You can do this with backpacks. You can do this with different, snacks or products you use. Anything that you can think of that you use and love and want to work with. You can search that on the hashtag page and then find these brands to then go and pitch to. But like I said, little tip there, but it does go so much more in depth in the materials that you guys are going to get with this incredible offer.
Yeah, some people are asking about payments. We get paid through PayPal, we get through Wise, direct bank transfer, checks in the mail. It doesn't really matter. Whatever way the brand can get you the money, just take it. But just make sure it's in the contract and everything's good with that. Do you have any schedule, rhythm, way to organize how often you pitch, when to follow up? Chas does have a good way to follow up and when to follow up, but I'm going to tell you right now, at the beginning of your career, spend a couple hours a day just researching brands that fit your niche and trying to pitch, get them on a phone call, because nowadays we do get reached out to way more often now, and we don't have to worry about that stream of income, getting brands to work with us. But at the beginning, you really need to get out there. The more no's you get told, the better you're doing, because you're really reaching out to people. You're working on your negotiation skills. You're working on what your value is. And once you find that and you work on that value hard, more brand deals and brands will even reach out to you in years to come.
Yep. I got a question here from Jenna. Do you write your fee in an email as a number or send a PDF with a package and rate? I've done it both ways. For the most part, I will just write it out as a number in the email. But I have had, I'll end a call with a brand and I'll be like, I'll send you guys my package rates, next week or by the end of the week or whatever. And then usually that is when I'll send out like the PDF that has a breakdown of, I'll put like maybe 2 different packages on there of kind of what we talked about over the call. And obviously one package will be a little bit more bang for your buck, a little bit more expensive, but they're going to get more value with it, and obviously hope that they'll take the higher package with that.
Hey, Chas, how fast after you pitch should you follow up?
So I usually wait 1 week, and it kind of depends on who and what you're pitching to as well. Like if it's a hotel and you're on timeline of, you know, you need to do this within 2 weeks or whatever, I would definitely recommend following up a lot sooner. But usually when I'm just pitching brands, I'll wait 1 week and then I'll follow up the first time. And then that next week, I'll follow up every other day until I've reached 5 follow-ups. 5, some reason tends to be like the lucky number. I've received a lot of yeses after the 5th follow-up. So I know it can kind of feel like, oh my gosh, yeah, I don't want the brand to think I'm annoying. I don't want the brand to think I'm being like pushy or whatever. But a lot of times these brands just miss our messages or miss our emails, or it gets lost somewhere. So following up just shows how eager you are to work with them. And I always recommend following up at least 5 times.
Sweet. Let me look into some more stuff. Anyone? Yeah, Chess. If you're asking about like the bundle and if you already have a course or anything, you should just DM Chess personally about this issue or question about if you already have a certain part of the bundle, what can you do? But ask that after this. We're talking more about negotiating, how to get you guys better rates, anything more towards how to help you guys grow. Yeah, and you could DM us too if it's too much on Chess too. At what point do you get negotiate? Let me see.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to look at it. Questions. So with all the whole tax thing, like we do all our taxes in the U.S. because our company's based in the U.S. So we work with Get Your Guide, but they send a 1099 to our home. That's where we live. That's where when we're not in Europe, we fly back to and stay. So they send a 1099, you have to pay taxes that way. But Tad, the whole tax question is, I recommend getting a tax person. Do it professionally, and that way you won't mess up. I think we both have used tax accountants in the past, right? Chess, have you used tax help before?
Wait, sorry, what was your question?
Do you have like a tax person that helps you with your taxes and explains YouTube, or not YouTube, just social media and how all this stuff works?
Yeah. So originally we were doing our tax stuff all ourselves through, at first we used QuickBooks, but I don't think that you can pay your taxes through QuickBooks. But there's another app, Flyfin. You can actually pay your taxes through Flyfin. They have like an estimate for you. It's all done there in the app. Definitely recommend. But we use that to pay our quarterly taxes, and then we do have a CPA, a tax person, who at the end of the year, like, will file our taxes, or the beginning of the year, whenever the tax season is, who actually does all of that for us. I just think that's the safest route. I think we only pay like, I think it's like $250 for our tax person to file all of our taxes during tax season. Like, it's really not that much, and I think it's definitely worth the investment.
And also, there's a bunch of write-offs. We were able to write off our van, which
yeah,
was
and Flyfin also tracks all of your write-offs. So I recommend like opening a separate business bank account that you get paid into, that all of your like business transactions. Now this includes like gas for trips that you go on, plane tickets, flights. Like Ian and Anna said, they wrote off their van. And so if you have a separate bank account, you can link that to Flyfin, and it'll track all of your deductibles right in the app as well. It's awesome.
Let me see. I'm trying to read through some. So Mrs. Vans asked, sorry, Jess, this one's really fast. So Mrs. Vans asked, will you do a similar webinar on growth? I love this, but feel like I'm so far away from deals. And I think even people that have 50,000 to 100,000 followers are still far off on the type of content they're making, how to make the right content for brands. And that's what we go in. We keep coming back to the bundle, but that's exactly what we teach in the course. We may go into another webinar in the future if you guys are always asking, but that's why we have this for you.
It's been over a year since we've done another webinar, and I don't plan on doing another one anytime soon. If you're wanting to grow and really start your journey, get the special offer that we've put together for you guys. Like I said, you paid $10 for this much information, and I hope you thought that this web event was valuable. But just imagine everything that you're going to get in our bigger offer for you guys. And if you're wanting to learn and you're wanting to grow and you're wanting to see those results that our students have gotten, the ones that have grown 100,000 followers in 5 months, 200,000 followers in like a 6-month span, if you want those results, that's what you're going to learn in this special offer that we're giving to you guys.
So there's a good question about what are the key performance indicators most commonly used by brands to assess the effectiveness of a collaboration? Remember at the beginning, I talked about some brands are looking for brand awareness. So I think a lot of brands that work with Chas, because she gets a ton of views on her pets page, are going after brand awareness. So if you get a lot of views, the brand's going to be happy. Now with us on YouTube, a lot of brands go after conversions and website clicks and even sales. It just depends on what the brand's campaign is going after that month. And one brand can be going after brand awareness this month and the next month switch it. So that's what you have to ask the brand. What are you looking for in this partnership? So someone asked about the write-off of the van real quick. Can't you only use it for business though? I mean, that's what we're doing. What we're doing right now is business. 90% of everything we do in this van is business. So that's why you're able to write it off. It's not like we're at home. We're going to make videos. We make videos every day in it. So you're able to write it off.
Yeah. And if you're a travel content creator and you're just going to like, going on a trip and you're uploading content to social media, that's business. That's your job. Even if you're, not yet getting paid for it, that's still a business write-off. The gas that you use for that trip, the meals that you have, your camera gear that you use to take photos, all of that stuff are all business write-offs.
Yeah.
I have something.
And you should come over here and just say it.
Oh, okay.
So no one could hear you.
Oh, we only have a minute left. I won't.
Okay.
So a lot of people are asking, what if you don't perform well for the brand? And
Okay, yeah, that was a good one. Wait,
can
I actually did see that, and you can go on, and you could speak.
Well, I think I answered this question quite a few times. Hi, everyone. But yeah, basically, like, you can go about this in many different ways, but we believe, and Chas as well, if you want to keep a good relationship with this brand, perhaps post for them again. Hopefully that one will perform better, and then you can, maintain that great relationship and hopefully have future brand deals together. Although, of course, you want to ask as much money, and I know you're working hard, it's sometimes worth it to keep that brand under your belt. Okay. Love you guys.
Yeah. And I also think, don't think negatively right away. Why not think positively? Like, you're going to kill it for that brand. And that's what you bring the energy to all these deals. Even if you don't do exactly what you did you promised that brand, move on to the next one if it didn't work out.
Yeah. If you don't care about them, then just be like, all right, bye.
Yeah.
I also, anytime that I one of my posts flops, and I don't get good statistics to share back with the brand, I'll do another post for them. I'll, upload more story slides and a couple links and just get those elevated numbers, maybe make another reel if it really flopped. And when I do the second post, usually it's more authentic than what the brand required. And the brand's going to be happy either way. Especially if you are able to, create something else for them or elevate your numbers a little bit. You could, always just go above and beyond for the brands that you work with, and it'll pay you back in return.
Always overdo it especially the beginning of your career. You really need to get your foot in the door. So on our creator course that's in this bundle, someone's asking if we talk about taxes and write-offs. I really think, at least for the first year, we do touch on it a little bit, but for the first year, I think you should go with a professional. Especially a professional that works with social media influencers and people. So, yeah.
Cool. Well, I think our timer ran out. It's been 30 minutes. I would love to sit here and answer all of your guys' questions all day. I could sit here and talk about this forever, but this is why we put all of our information, everything you need to know, into this bundle package for you guys. I'm not joking. You will not regret it. If you saw the testimonials from the people who have gotten it, it's not like any other information that's out there. It's truly life-changing. It's the potential is just crazy. And I'm super excited for every single person who's going to sign up today or within the next 10 days. Take advantage of this offer, jump on it, take the leap of faith with us. And like I said, if you have more questions after this, if you get the course, you get our package, reach out to us anytime. Like, we're here to help you succeed. We're happy to answer your questions and help guide you along this journey. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing this, is to help you succeed. So if you guys want to jump on that offer, just go to throughthelens.com/go. You can also find it on my website. You'll also be getting it in a link sent out to you via email. But I just want to thank you guys for being here today, for trusting in us to help you with this opportunity. It's been so much fun. I love doing these things, and it's just crazy. I feel like my energy right now is just beaming. I hope you guys found so much value out of this. And yeah, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for supporting us. It really means
and a lot of people are saying thank you to Anna. Yes, Anna's wrists are dying right now from answering so many questions for 2.5 hours. So big golf clap for Anna. I don't know if I'd be able to type for that long. So also some people are asking about the replay. I think this is very important because it's so nice to go over those topics and really implement them. Chas, when are you going to send the replay, or is it already sent?
So I think it has already been sent to a few people. I don't know why the emails aren't firing. That's definitely something that Brad is going to have to help me out with today. He's usually the back end of everything. And I will say I'm pretty proud of myself for, doing all the back end stuff by myself without Brad's help this time. So cut me a little slack here. But anyway, you guys will get the link to the slides, the replay, all the extra goodies, the rate calculator and everything by the end of the day today. That will be going out to you guys. And
what about the slides, Chas? Are the slides
going
to them too?
The slides will be in that as well. Yep. The slides will be linked.
Emails coming soon. I'm excited that you guys are excited to rewatch this 3-hour thing. I guess that means we did an okay job. But hopefully we put it all out there for you guys. Remember, this was just 3 hours of our time. We have so much more to teach you guys, and we're so excited for you guys' future.
So much more. So awesome. We love you guys. Thank you so much again, and we hope you have an amazing rest of your weekend. Woo! Oh yeah, I also wanted to say we would love to hear your feedback. Feel free to send us messages on what you thought of this web event, if you found it valuable, if there are other things that we should have included. Or if you hated it, let us know. We want to know what you guys thought.
Just like asking a brand what you did right and wrong. We want to know what we did right and wrong. If I talk too fast, I already know that, so don't even send that message.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. We truly appreciate you for being here, and we're so excited for all of you and the journeys that you are on. The potential here is crazy, and we're so excited that we get to share that with you guys. So thanks again, and we will see you next time.
See ya. Woo!